What's going on? Welcome back to another live episode of the Post Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I am your co-host, Aramis.
Your boy, Melly Mac. There we go. Okay, I'm on now. I was a black screen for a minute. I was like, I'm gonna wait for my cue. There it is.
Fair enough. Listen. This episode is going to be straight fire. We are on the precipice of wild card weekend. Fellas, I got one announcement, and I got straight fire.
Who the five hottest podcasters? Aramis. Spit hot fire.
Super hot fire. Don't do that. Okay. All right.
That fire sauce is good.
Wow. You still saying that at 39.
Can I have the floor? Can I have the floor?
Please.
Take this back about 10 years to Buffalo Wild Wings. These two and y'all remember this. They decided they were going to have a wing off with the hottest wings at Buffalo Wild Wings. Yeah, we didn't have the money we have now. We're not rich, but we're not poor like we were back then. When Wild Wings was fire. Anyway, these guys decide they want to talk about how weak the hottest sauce at Buffalo Wild Wings is. While my comrade Millie Mack over here, he's snotting and tearing up. My comrade over here, A-Dog, he over here, his head is sweating profusely. And I'm sitting there like, nah, let me get my mediums off, y'all. I don't want nothing. This eye. Oh, he rubbed his eye, and the game changed for sure. So now we don't do no higher. You know, it might, if hot is hot.
Okay, wait.
Good.
Somebody said we're echoing.
But they got the story though. They got the gist of it.
Well, I'm sure they heard it like 4 times.
Good.
Okay. So all right. So we're good. So yeah. I just had to switch the sound up.
As long as I got the story, because I can tell it again.
No. I don't want to go back to the time where I was leaking from almost every orifice except my ears, because I decided to go with, what was it called, the insanity sauce, or
it was
blazing.
So
it was
to be fair, B-Dubs, they got hot sauce, but it's not hot. Their hot was not hot. So I'm like, what you got hotter than this? And then
they let you know.
We got the answer.
There's like, okay, you want to taste it? I tasted nothing but heat. It didn't taste like chicken. It didn't taste like sausage. It tastes like steam and heat.
All right,
I said, no, I'm good. You still can't hear me? Oh man, I came with everything I had. It's over with. I came with everything. I don't know what to do anymore.
Okay, so we should. Yeah, we still on.
Okay. At least I got that. You know,
all
I
right.
didn't want to lose the rawness. Yes.
How does it sound?
Joe, we good now? We straight?
We in the building.
Yeah. Okay. So let's just get started. Somebody will let us know if we suck. So lots of static. All right. We'll be right back. Hang on.
I don't know.
Oh, maybe. All right. Okay, we're back. Roy says sound here is fine. Okay.
No, I ain't say nothing.
All right. Okay. So check this out. Right. So first things first. I wanna start off with a question that I didn't even think of until 2 hours ago. And when I thought about this question, I'm like, oh, we gonna blow the Broncos out. So the question is this a revenge game for the Buffalo Bills?
A little bit.
You know what I'm talking about, right? Like we lost to them on Monday night here last year.
Yeah, was it the Dorsey game?
I'll say a little bit because they still remember.
Yeah.
They definitely remember because they asked Josh about it. He was like, "Yeah, I remember it. Yep, he remembers."
I say no, only because the person that they're going to blame for that game is no longer employed in Buffalo or Cleveland, and he didn't walk out of that building employed. So they're probably
Dorsey?
the stench is gone.
Yeah.
You know.
No. That was Brady, wasn't it?
No,
that was Dorsey's last game. We fired him right after that game.
Oh, did they?
Yeah.
That was the last straw.
Yeah. Remember he walked in with the duffel bag?
Done against that team.
Remember he walked in with the duffel bag? And they were like, why he got a duffel bag with him? That's why.
Oh, they told him on the plane he was
probably,
fired.
Yeah, he probably
did.
Okay.
That was the last straw.
The last stand.
We lost at home.
Yeah.
We don't lose at home.
We don't. Not this year.
No.
Right. Key, are you aware that Kyle Williams is this week's legend of the game, Roy says?
Yeah. I saw him on Win Bills Live, too, when I was in the gym. Yes, Roy.
Kyle,
I'm aware. He's a Buffalo Bill.
Hey!
Nope.
Call.
Oh, come on. You're such a hater, Key.
You ain't got my flag, dude? Nah. I need my flag, dude.
You gonna let the flag dude get on the
Yo,
mic?
we gotta find out what his name is.
Does anybody know the flag dude? And y'all know at the games, y'all know who the flag dude is. The one that dances, put the little oomph in it. I don't want the other three. There's one in one of them corners.
Yes, when we make a touchdown and they do the flag dance, you can see very distinctively one flag bearer is getting it in.
Yep.
His feet work is immaculate.
It's immaculate.
The other guys are just, they out there, they just doing it, right?
They bare minimum.
They're like, yeah, we out here, we got a touchdown. My other man is like, oh.
He like, yo.
We need to find out what his name is.
Somebody at him. At him,
We
please.
need his
You're in the
name.
chat.
Yeah,
if you're the flag guy, send me video ocular proof of you doing it, and you can come on through.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so here's the announcement. So I actually met the granddaughter of the chefs today.
Ooh.
And she's gonna put the word in to see if we can get them on the show, which I'm very, very excited about because they've been lifelong Bills fans and widely known as top 3, if not top 2 or 1 all-time Bills fans.
Yeah,
Listen, to me, it was Pancho, the chefs, and Pinto Ron. Like those are the 3 for me.
Hey man, don't forget about Belvis.
But
Belvis.
But he just now, like in the last 6-7 years, started like really.
Belvis been around.
I know he's been around, but they ain't put the camera on him like that.
Huh?
They ain't put the camera on him all like
That's
that.
on them. I know Belvis.
That's true.
So my man know the chefs, and they got the Bills hooked him up with Super Bowl tickets. They going to the Super Bowl.
Yep, they going to the Super Bowl.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow. Well, listen, if your man know him too,
man.
we can put a word out from 2 angles.
Hey.
We'll see if we can get him on the show.
Hey.
That'd be great. But yeah, so I'm very
I
excited.
also know somebody that knows him.
So what are we waiting for? Like, what?
I didn't know that there was a big demand for the chefs. I didn't know.
We want the chefs.
Right. There you go.
But they got to bring some food, though.
Huh?
They got to bring some food because they really could. They're the ones that run that tailgate out there.
Yeah,
Listen.
they be putting it in too.
Do they have their own restaurant?
No. Yeah, their
Do
buddy
they?
does. Their buddy does is a fire spot.
Okay.
Yeah, that's their buddy.
That would be a dope connection.
They charge, I think it was like $20 a plate for the tailgate up there, but they make it happen.
All right, we got to make that happen. We got to get them on here.
Bring some ribs.
If anybody else knows the chefs, put in the word for us too. We're gonna come at from every angle we can. We want to get them on the show just to hang out with them and pick their brains. So
Does Kyle get in the mic and give the fans one of his pregame speeches that makes the hair on your neck stand up? What is that speech, Steve?
it wouldn't take much from Kyle Williams because
so.
he's so iconic. You know what I'm saying?
All Kyle has to do is go up there, grab the mic, and do this. Uproar.
That's it.
Uproar.
That's it.
That's it.
Just like in wrestling.
Yep. Just sniff the air like the Rock.
But you can't have the arm straightened out because it looks stronger when your arm is bent. Like this ain't intimidating, but this.
That's
This-
true.
yeah.
That's true. You got a point. When it's
Yeah,
been
yeah.
there, you see the flex.
You see,
Right, there you go.
like
There
mine
you
is too massive for me to just nah.
go. Yeah, we gonna bring the Reed's Tea Sweat. We gonna bring it.
Oh yeah, that
sure.
goes good with ribs.
Yep. Yep. Okay, so
I'm screwing your show all the way up. My bad, dude.
huh?
I'm screwing your show up. My
No,
bad.
you're not. No, you're not. All right. So let's do this. Let's start with this. I purposely didn't tell you guys about this because I want the gut reaction for this question,
I
right?
like that.
And this is basically the main topic of today's show. I want you guys' top 10 most trustworthy Bills on this team going into the playoffs. What top 10 Bills on this team do you trust more than anybody else? Caveat, not including Josh Allen.
He wasn't on my list anyway.
Wow.
Just messing. But I know. See, that's the caveat to all of this stuff. It's always not including Josh. Always.
Top 10.
Top
Huh?
10. Top 10.
Is it collective or individual accolades? Or individual list? Okay.
You know, listen, if it's just a guttural thing for you, like if you just like, listen, I've seen this guy so many times. I've seen what he could do. I just trust him. You don't have to support it with stats, but
Yeah.
just
No,
in your
I'm just
mind.
saying. Okay. Okay, Matt got one.
Uh-oh. Who you got?
You want me to go just one by one, or you want all 10?
We can go one by one. Or you know what? Let's do yours.
All right.
Give me your 10.
Got to be Hembo. Trust Hembo.
Okay.
Mr. You already know, Deion Dawkins. He's not going to let Josh get killed. At least not from his side.
Oh, you know, John Franklin Myers is playing. Ain't nobody. He ain't gonna touch now because that's Deion's dude. He hates that dude.
okay.
At this point, I got to give my man TB, Terrell Bernard.
Okay.
I trust him.
You lucky you said that. 'Cause somebody like Tyler Bass, you crazy?
Nah, so I'm gonna go Terrell Bernard. I do. I trust my man CB too, Christian Benford.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He been coming in clutch. How many is that? So I got Benford.
think that's
I got
5.
Bernard. I got already Snow.
Steve Noah said it'd be easier to pick 10 people not to trust.
I know, right? And I got Cook. Shakir, all day. Shakir all day.
Massive Peeve 9. What up? What up? Welcome to the show.
Dang. Can I put my man Reed Ferguson?
What?
He never botches a snap.
Bam. You said
never botches
you said how you know that?
The Super Bowl
Bro.
caliber snap.
My man never botches a
You
snap.
said he was the award-winning long. He ain't even make the Pro Bowl. He is not the king of the hill when it comes to long snappers.
Is he anywhere in the second or third string All Pro? Vote?
No, he is not.
There is no Pro Bowl.
Matter of fact, yes, there is.
There is? Who
There really is.
Who is?
I had it in my notes. I swear to you.
Bring it up right now.
Yeah.
Bring
Hold
it
on, I
up
think
right
it's a guy
now.
from Denver. I want to say it's a guy from Denver.
I need to
What?
know this now.
How is it not Reed Ferguson?
Because I had it in my notes. I said, I thought y'all told me.
Who snapped better than him?
Isn't the guy in Denver Reed Ferguson's brother?
No. It's not his brother. I know that.
Who snapped better than him?
Evidently, Tyler Bass is kicking a lot of people. I can look it up for you.
All right. So that was your 10?
How about this? You go. Did you got all? Well, no, you didn't
I
do
don't know
all.
if I
Go
got
ahead.
all 10,
Go ahead.
but
Okay.
and I'm going to have to put in my man. I would trust him if he was fully healthy. Matt Milano, I don't think he's fully healthy.
Okay. I mean, people are saying he looked like he was rounding out to close to 100% form in the Jets game.
You know what? I'm going to go with my man, what you call? Give me my man Ty Johnson, baby. Give me Ty.
Wow. Okay.
Never let me down yet.
All right.
That was 10.
I hope so.
I did just a little more time. Just a little. Stall me out. No.
What you got, Key?
So all right, I got Cook, Shakir, Dawkins. That's 3.
Mm-hmm.
I got Terrell Bernard, Christian Benford. I'm at my man Reed Ferguson.
That's your choice. You can have that.
Ty Johnson. What's that? 8? That's 7?
Like, hey. Let me get a. Can we go retro?
All right, so we're going to the back 3. Give me Ed Oliver. And give me Spencer Brown.
Okay.
Is that 9 or 10?
Is that 9 or 10? Oh, okay.
Okay, all right.
Showing your age right now, bro.
All right, okay.
Man, give me my man, Mr. Dawson Knox, baby. Dawson Knox.
Okay, I see what you did there. Okay, I
See
like
that?
it. I like it.
See
Okay.
that?
And just so you guys know, you ready?
Who is it?
Ross Matisic
How's it not Reed
from
Ferguson?
Jacksonville Jaguars.
I don't
Ross
know him.
From the
Matisic
Jaguars?
from the Jags.
I don't even know him.
So all the players that vote on this or whoever took the votes or whatever,
They
like
know
all
that's
of them
Ross
was like,
Matisic.
yo, I've never seen somebody snap the ball like the guy in Jacksonville.
Like Ross Matisic, yo, it's something about the rotation of the ball. He just snaps right off his fingers every time. Ain't done. They probably clock it. They time it.
You know what this reminds me of? Like I've been in a couple of like talent shows, and there's always that one person that comes with like they whole generation, and they whole generation just start causing an uproar when they get up there, and that makes the judges think that they were the best one or they were the one
When they
that
like
should
hold
win.
your applause to the end, please.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what this reminds me of. Like somewhere somehow this dude had a lot of friends that helped him get that.
Look at his smile. How do you not put this guy in there? Look at his smile. Look at his smile.
Nah,
Ross Matisic, he clean shaven.
No.
He in there.
no.
Ross Matisic, congratulations.
He looks like he cheated on somebody's sister.
He probably did.
That's what he looks like.
And he wears number 46.
Real quick announcement. Rena Brown just messaged us. She said she got her hoodie today.
Nice.
She loves it.
How's it? Oh, it fits good? Okay,
Nice.
good.
Yeah,
good. I'm glad.
yeah.
I'm glad.
Yep, we got her the perfect size.
You
So
said it's
she-
blue?
Huh?
Was it blue or
It
black?
was black.
Oh, man. I
Yeah,
want
the
the
black
one.
joints is
Ooh,
dope.
she got the
Black
black
joints is dope.
joint.
Yeah.
Yep.
So, okay, so. My 5.
10.
10. 5 times 2.
Damn it. Okay.
Yeah. You better count, too.
You're right.
I was gonna put a little tick mark. I might build a spreadsheet. No. So give me Himbo, of course. Khalil. You like this one. Mac Hollins.
Ooh, you trust Maxwell?
All he does is keep his move chains. All he does is move chains. When you think of Max, think of 4 downs. It's 3. Okay. I'm doing pretty good here. Give me Dion. Actually, give me McGovern.
Ooh,
Wow.
Connor?
You-
Okay.
You just
Okay.
you just trying to make me mad. That's all you're doing. That's all you're doing.
No.
I know that's all you're doing.
No.
That's it.
No, not at all. Not at all.
Mm-hmm.
Not at all.
That's all. Keep going. It's okay. Go ahead.
This is when it gets murky because we on the other side of the ball. Give me DeMar. No, don't put the finger up. Don't put the finger up. Actually, I kind of do, but he's like the honorable mention. I'll say that. Give me Benford for now.
Yep.
Give me Rousseau.
Ooh, you trust Groot?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, for sure. I just don't trust him to get sacks. But that's too many fingers. Hold on. Okay, that's okay. You were getting a little antsy there. I forgot. I lost my train of thought. I saw him. I must have been 10 right away. Give me. Actually, you know what?
What?
Wow, that's 7, huh? Dang, your fingers gonna get real tired holding them up like that. Give me Ty.
How many you got left?
That's 8.
2 more.
8. Okay.
Give me.
Oh, I don't know how I forgot this name.
Actually, And is this just for this game you're talking about? I'm sorry. Or is this
no for the entire playoffs?
Just for this roster that we got, going into the playoffs.
Okay. Believe it or not, I trust Vaughn.
Okay.
I trust Vaughn.
Okay.
All right.
Last one.
Lastly, okay, so playoffs could be. I know I always add stuff. I'm sorry, but dang. Okay.
Who's making the list?
Hmm?
Who's making the list? You got one more spot
No,
left.
That's the hurt piece about this. Actually,
That hard?
yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, you're gonna hate this. No, I'm not doing that. I was gonna say Alec Anderson, but I'm not doing it. Man, oh man.
Come on. Just say it.
I got 9. We got subs just clicking on the unsubscribing now. Let's see. And see, this is why I talk like I do about the contract. The team, it shouldn't be that hard. Okay, let's go. Okay, so
You don't like Epinesa?
no. Daquan Jones, I don't. Torrance, kind of, but not really. Rasul, absolutely not. DeMar, I trust him to be consistent.
Mm-hmm.
Does that count? Trust him to be consistent, or is
Yeah.
it? Okay, I'll do DeMar then.
DeMar?
That's 10. Yeah.
Wow.
Because I trust him to be. He keeps doing the same thing. He's like he doesn't give you flashes,
Yeah.
but he never screws up. Well, I mean, he never really just gives it away like we've seen with other people.
Okay. I'll just breeze right through mine real quick because some of our family here gave us some of their lists, so I want to get to those.
Oh
real
yeah,
quick.
please do. 'Cause my head hurts now.
So my number one is Terrell Bernard. I think he's by far the best playmaker on the defense, and I think he's the guy that allows the defense to be solid enough to create the turnovers that they've been creating. I think he's a big part of that. Taron Johnson's another one of those guys. I think in the middle of the field, he's as much of a ball hawk as a nickel corner could be, while also being very solid in the run. So I like Taron Johnson at number 2. Number 3, I got Saibo. When I need a man moved, I know I can depend on him. And the improvement in his pass protection to me makes him the complete package as a guard. That's a guy I want to lean on in the playoffs. Even if that means I'm focused on running behind him and Spencer Brown the whole time, just to make sure that I get that 1 or 2 yards that I need on a 3rd or a 4th down. Number 4 is Amari Cooper, superstar player, been in multiple big games, hasn't had a lot of playoff experience, but I don't ever get the impression at the moment it's too big for him. You really don't see him make big mistakes until he's into year 2 or 3 of being with the team, and this is still, month number 3 for him, if I'm not mistaken. Might be month number 2. Yeah, month number 2 for him. So I think he'll be just fine in the playoffs. Number 5 is Milano. I think in terms of what he brings with his defensive knowledge and his experience, and how that's going to affect the rest of the defense and empower them in a sense. I think Milano is one of those guys that I know I can lean on in defensively in the playoffs. Number 6 is Khalil Shakir. Seeing what he did against the Steelers last year and stepping up in the playoffs and being that guy that the team could rely on. We didn't have too many packages specifically for him last year. I think we definitely do now. So I absolutely want to lean on him going in. Number 7, I have Von Miller. I think Von Miller, this is the first postseason that he's going into fully healthy, and I think he's gonna show why we decided to pay him the money in the first place. I fully expect him to be an impact player in the playoffs. Number 8, James Cook. I think the consistency of the run game and his breakaway ability is probably one of the biggest threats our offense offers. And I want to give that a shot every chance I get, especially against the teams that we're going up against when we want to keep their quarterbacks on the sidelines and we want to be able to score points at the same time. So I want to lean on James Cook too. I just want to add, I think James Cook in the passing game becomes a thing in the playoffs. We haven't really seen him used that much in the passing game in the regular season. I think that's a wrinkle that they throw in the postseason. Number 9, Dawson Knox. Between his blocking and his 1 to 2 big time plays that he makes every time he's called upon, it gives our team juice. It gives us that flair, that same level of punch him in the mouthness that Deion Dawkins tries to give whenever we're playing a team that he doesn't like. And I like having that on offense. Number 10, Taylor Rapp. Now, I know this might be a little surprising, but the dude, he's got Super Bowl experience with the Rams. So that's a guy that I know has been there before. That's a guy that I know has played on a team that was playing at a high level. And really, you haven't heard his name at all season long, which is a good thing for a DB, unless they're Deron Bland and they're leading the NFL history in pick sixes. Yeah. So combine that with the fact that you pointed out last episode that he's by far our most efficient and effective defensive back. I got Taylor Rapp at number 10. Let's start with Lindsay. Lindsay said Hollins, Shakir, Knox, Ty Johnson, Taron Johnson, Terrell Bernard, CB, and Cook. I like it. And can you explain your Hollins pick to me? Because that's the only one that I'm just like, the dude has never been there. Never.
Well, that doesn't really mean as much to me as it would to some, because like you said, when you talked about Dawson Knox and you talked about with Saibo, when you need something done, which is usually a big catch on a clutch possession, a third down, second down, when you need a first down, it's usually Mac Hollins. So, if he's catching the ball, it's usually going to be a chain mover or a touchdown. So I think for me, when you look at the wide receiver room, he's like that dark horse that I think is going to come up and help out, because that is one of his favorites on the team when it comes to receptions. If he's looking downfield, he's looking for Mac too.
Yeah. You know who he reminds me of? He reminds me of that and actually we're going to get to see him this weekend because Zay Flowers is out against the Steelers. Nelson Aguilar. He's a bigger version and a slower version of Nelson Aguilar, but Nelson Aguilar has always been that kind of guy where he's too good for your number 4 corner to cover. Right. You know what I'm saying? But not good enough to go up against your nickel every game. You know what I mean? But I enjoy having a guy like that around for those reasons in particular, because I think teams are already zeroing in on Shakir and seeing him as the go-to option on third down, and they want to get him covered, take him away. I think the next guy that people are looking for is Dalton Kincaid in the seam. And then after that, obviously, they're trying to take away Amari Cooper and then whoever else. You know what I'm saying? I think, one-on-one coverage with Keon Coleman right now is pretty effective unless it's downfield. So, yeah, it makes total sense in terms of how Mac Hollins has been used this season. I definitely don't think the Bills planned on using him that way initially. But I do have to say I'm pleasantly surprised, and I am actually kind of happy that we have a guy like that where – He's too good for any team's number 4 to cover. Yeah. I'll take it.
I'll add this too. Probably didn't know, but he's the only receiver that has a Super Bowl.
Who? Mac Hollins?
Yep.
With who?
Eagles.
That's right. That's who drafted him, isn't it?
He's the only Super Bowl champion on the whole offense that
Get
we have on the
here.
Bills.
No,
team.
don't. Taylor Rapp ain't got one.
Offense.
Oh, okay,
Offense.
yeah.
Was David Edwards on the team when they won the Super Bowl or no?
The Rams?
Yeah.
He might have been.
I forgot about the
Yeah.
My bad. I always forget about the old.
I just remember. I think he was, because in Von Miller's mic'd up when he first came to Buffalo. When they played against the Rams, somebody was like, "Hi, Von." I think it was David Edwards that said that. I think it was in the mic'd up.
Wow.
So yeah, but I mean, he really wasn't a big player.
I completely forgot Mac Hollins got drafted by the Eagles. Wow.
So.
Does he even remember that time? You know what I'm saying? He's been in so long.
So, like, for me, when it comes to, like, other sports like hockey or basketball or baseball, like, definitely when your legacy is over, it's like rings. But to me, in football, only people care about Super Bowl rings is the quarterbacks.
Yeah.
like you don't look at, like, for example, he's probably going to in the Hall of Fame with Sean McCoy, but it's 2 Super Bowls, he didn't do anything. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He got them. He has them. He can say, I'm a Super Bowl champion, but when you were lighting the league up, he didn't get them there.
Right.
But I think he still goes to the Hall of Fame because he was one of the best running backs that we've seen in our, you know what I'm saying, in that era. But, like, to me, I don't know. I think it's really heavy on quarterbacks. And that's the only position because, like, if you're a left tackle, I got 5 Super Bowls. Like, whatever.
Okay, that's cool.
You know what I'm saying? Or even if you're a fullback, I got 5. All right, you're a fullback.
Well, I'm a
how
Pro Bowl
much?
fullback.
How
It's
much?
like 4 of you.
How
Of
much
course
did you
you
really
are.
do? And
Yeah.
again, long snapper, punter, kicker, like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying?
Your position is not that important. I mean, it is, but it's not.
But, like, in basketball, it's different.
Yeah.
I don't care what position you play. How many rings you got? Oh, snap. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like
You wanna-
Robert Ory. Robert Ory was
Yeah.
never one of those dudes that you could lean on to be your star, but they didn't call him Big Shot Rob for nothing.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He like Mac Hollins, he make that clutch catch and you're off and running. Knicks Tape Nation, what's going on? He says Mac Hollins is like one of those players the Patriots used to have during their Super Bowl runs. Yeah, like a Deion Branch or who was another guy? Who's the running back? Kevin Falk. Kevin Falk. That's who Mac Hollins is like. Kevin Falk was one of those dudes where he was the third stringer, then he was the second, then he just came in for a few plays here and there. But every single time they got him on the field, the man was making some kind of back-breaking play for the Patriots on offense.
He had them elbow pads. That's what it was.
Yeah.
He had them elbow pads.
Yeah, man. Beth, good to see you too. So
Is that what that is? Okay, I was
so Beth said other 2 hosts.
DSY.
So on my left, this is Melly Mac, and on my right, this is 40 Keys. Steve says Mac Hollins will bring palm trees and barefoot people in the snow. He has what Sherfield never was and has a personality.
Did you see? Do you guys follow him on Instagram? Anybody?
Hollins?
Yeah.
I do.
No.
Did you see what he taught him how to do? Whatever, I forgot what dance it was. But he
I
was
didn't see
teaching
what
him,
the
he
dance.
taught him how to do some dance. I forget what it was. It was a hip hop dance. So it was about But I mean, I was just laughing. I'm like, who is this dude?
Yo,
This dude's an alien.
his videos is funny, man.
They are.
His videos are
I'm gonna have
Yeah.
to follow him.
Like, he had the joint where remember he did the week where he did the scientist, he had the
Yeah.
science experiments.
Yeah.
And then he did the week of, he did the cold plunge where he would go in the snow or go in cold places, like him just in his underwear, and people like, all right, I'm tired of seeing Mac Hollins package every week. Like, come on.
Right. Not the females. The females were not tired of it.
Right, the females is like, oh.
I'll take that.
Right.
So you know who else does the cold plunge stuff, especially in the wintertime?
Who's that?
Our producer, Junie,
about to
he's
say-
at home ill right now.
Well, Junior, I ain't know.
No, he's taking a day off. He's not feeling well today, but we have Junior, Melly Mac's oldest son, here producing for us. So thank you very much for that. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I mean,
Huh?
that was
Wow.
low-key mimic.
My needy son, Tremel McAdory Jr. So let's give him a round of applause. Is that better now, son? You got all 3 now? You feel better? Oh, man.
Wait till we get home. Oh my gosh! But yeah, so every winter time, whenever there's a heavy snowfall and we get about like maybe 4 or 5 inches of snow in the backyard, Junior strip down to some shorts and a tank top and go dive in the snow.
What?
Every single year.
Wow.
That's why he in the ops right now.
No, I ain't got nothing to do with that.
He turned 21 and he felt like, I can't do it no more. He found out the hard way. He's somewhere on somebody's couch holding a cup of a soup with 2 hands like this. Humbly.
No, he's
Humbly.
usually after that he's fine. He goes downstairs, get his towel and clean off, and comes right back upstairs. He's straight. Yeah.
This time he ain't come up as fast. You're like, yeah, 21.
No, so he was helping his grandma set up her apartment. She just moved.
Oh, yeah?
And he was over there for a couple of days, so he probably overworked himself.
Probably.
He getting older now. He
He is
can't
getting
do all
older.
the same
You
stuff.
talking about us.
that-
Wait till he come back in.
Right.
Oh!
You getting sick from lifting some furniture? Is that-
Oh! How your back feel? Oh!
Exactly.
Knees don't feel the way they used to. Huh?
Yep.
Mhm.
Knicks Tape Nation says Deion Branch didn't put any work in unless he was on New England. I hated him. Yeah. Yeah, he didn't do nothing nowhere else. But boy, that Super Bowl, man, that was his time to shine. Beth says, hell no. Kudos to those who do the plunges. I'm cold-blooded. LOL. I can be cold. It's 80 degrees with a breeze and cloud cover.
Wow.
Listen, my wife is the same way.
Yeah. Christina's
She's
always
always
opposite.
cold.
She's the opposite.
I
If
could
it's
do
hot,
it.
she's cold. If it's cold, she's hot. Like,
Really?
yeah.
I could just jump in the. I could do it.
I'm just always hot.
I could
Yeah?
do it. Yeah, I just don't like to not be clothed, so I'm not doing it. But I could do it.
So you could do it if you were fully clothed, which kind of
Yeah.
defeats the purpose of the cold plunge. But
Well, that makes it worse.
well, yeah, because the
Because then you're
clothes are
cold.
holding
Yeah,
it in. Yeah,
but yeah, I could do it. I mean, easily. I'm never cold. Never.
Wow.
Never. We were at my mom's house for what was it? Was it Christmas? And T and Kim were freezing their gonads. Well,
Yeah.
T ain't got no go. Well, yes, she does. But and I think my mom had like 67.
Yeah.
And Ken's in there. He's all right.
Mhm.
She ain't under the blankets and this, that, and third. My mom's friend came over, had a jacket zipped up, hat still on.
Dang.
I'm like, fam, this is just right. My house be having me melt. I think ours is like 72.
Ooh.
And I mean, I'm like, yo, this got to stop. It's got to stop immediately.
Yeah. So if anybody ever invites me over and you one of those people that are always cold and your heat is on 80, like just call me. Let's just do a video chat. We can hang out, virtually. I really don't care to come to somebody's house and sweat my clothes off.
Yeah. I like to keep it, if it's just me, I like to keep it at like 68. If it's just me.
Mhm.
68?
However, because of the wife and kids, it's usually hovers
not
around.
him. He like, nah.
All of my kids, it usually hovers around like 70 and 71.
That's not terrible.
Now, if it goes past 71, we have issues. I'm like, all right, 70s, I get it. Maybe knock the little kill off.
Nah.
Bump it up to 1, but that's it.
Nah, Mac lying. I know what
That's
this is.
it.
Mac, when that go to 72, Mac be like looking at his wild like, yo.
That's it. That
He
is
be like,
it. That is it all
who
day.
putting in on this? They got to come down.
Yep. Beth says 73 is what I keep my house. Yeah, that's I'm right around 72, 73. I got about 1,520 square feet, but my house is not super well insulated because I think our master bedroom might have been an addition at some point, and they did some other stuff or whatever. But yeah, 72, 73 is what we're usually at. And the bill is not terrible, but it's not the best either. But yeah, like you said, bro, folk got to be warm.
Yeah.
So you know what I did though to combat that?
What?
I got my wife a heated blanket, a real nice heated blanket,
okay.
like a big queen size double sided joint. It's like all nice and furry and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Listen, 71. Put that bad boy over you. Turn that dial.
There
You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
You be
I
all right.
was tempted to put a thermos check by the thermostat.
Oh, to
You know
see
I'm
what it was
saying?
really at?
Like, number one, you're cold. Do you have socks on?
You know I would.
right.
Number two,
Right.
do you have pants and shirt on?
You know I
Number
would as
three,
well.
can you see your breath? If any of those are yes, no heat required. Leave it where it is.
So yeah. See,
Fair
I
enough.
walk around the house in socks, tank top, and basketball shorts. That's what I have on all year round.
Yeah.
Yep. That's it. All year round.
Unless I just don't have any basketball shorts that are clean, then I wear pajama pants. But I'm usually basketball shorts. No socks. I hate wearing socks. I can't.
You like Mac Hollins. You don't like the socks.
He
I
likes
really
it-
don't.
he likes
Like
it round.
I'll be walking outside barefoot. I grew up on the west side of Buffalo in the Lakeview projects. I ran outside every single day barefoot. I went across the street, across Hudson there to the playground that used to be there where the bridge was, and just played on the playground barefoot every day. And we're back. All right.
Sorry
So-
for the technical difficulty.
I'm gonna have to order a longer cord or something. It's got to be that or something to that effect.
Mark keeps his house at 66.
Yeah.
That's right.
Ooh.
That's right.
Okay.
66.
60.
Okay.
That's right.
That's a smart man
That's
right
right.
there.
Mm-hmm. So what else y'all got? What's going on with y'all? What else is football popping with y'all?
So
should I give y'all the bad news?
yes.
Did y'all hear the news?
Here we go.
Depends.
I know what
The
the
bad
news is.
news. You know what the bad news is?
What's the
I'm
bad
sure
news?
I know what it is. What is it?
Did y'all see who won first team All Pro?
I knew it. I knew that was who.
Lamar
yeah.
Jackson.
Yep. So you know what that means.
Not
Josh
necessarily.
is getting the MVP.
Whoa. According to Keyshawn is the stat man. According to Keyshawn, when we went through last year and I was pissed off that he got it, he enlightened me on a very crucial fact. At least the last 10 years, the MVP has always been the first All-Pro.
Yep.
In
This is
the
true.
last 10, it's always been the first All-Pro.
But
If they rob my man again,
the word on the street is
Uh-oh.
they don't know if they want to give it to Lamar because 3 MVPs in a row is like MVP fatigue.
well, that's heavy. Yeah,
Listen,
that's out there heavy.
hey, if y'all go give it to him, then give it to him.
That's what I'm saying.
Because
Who
guess what?
cares?
Guess what? Also, if he gets it for the third time, he will be the first player ever to receive 3 MVPs and never sniff a Super Bowl.
Ever.
You talking that big?
So go ahead and give it to him.
Yeah.
Go ahead and give it to him.
What's
So I got
that
3
nonsense?
MVPs. Oh, yeah?
What's that brotherhood
How many
over
Super
here?
Bowl appearances do you have?
Right.
That's what I thought.
You better watch what you ask for because if Josh and Lamar play, you know they're putting that on Prime.
Yeah, I'm telling
That's
you.
gonna be
listen,
pay-per-view.
Listen, I don't mean to overstep the Broncos. I'm not saying that. I'm not counting them off, but that's the matchup I'm waiting for is Bills and Ravens. Because me personally, I could be a little crazy. I'm more confident that we can beat KC and Arrowhead more than I am us playing the Ravens at home.
I agree with that 100%.
Do you?
100%. The exact every word you said is absolutely how I feel. I don't want to see the Ravens here or there or over there or anywhere. I don't want to see the Ravens in my dreams. I don't want to see the Ravens in real life.
Not on the plane, not on the train.
That's right.
I do not want the Ravens, Sam. I am. I do not want to play them.
Really? Sweat really taking it in now. Sweat said 3 MVPs can't make it up the first round. He thinks they're gonna lose to the Steelers.
I think they're gonna lose to the Steelers too.
So
Do you?
no Zay Flowers.
The only way that'll happen for me is if they got to roll with Justin Fields. Because listen, defensively, they kind of got Lamar Jackson's number defensively, right? The only difference was Russell Wilson. So if you sprinkle in a little bit of Justin Fields because he hasn't played, like you don't want to just throw him in and give him the whole game.
Yeah.
But I would sprinkle him a little bit for that dual threat ability.
Yeah.
And see what happens. You got to mix it up.
Yeah.
Because right now, like, they lost their last 4 games, so they haven't won in a month, bro.
Yeah.
They haven't hit a victory in a month.
You know you know what they should do is have a red zone package for Justin Fields. If they put in Justin Fields in the red zone, now we're talking because you only need him to get 20 yards.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
And he can snap off 10 in a heartbeat if the lane is open.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So you give him that opportunity or even just get him inside the 15. You know what I'm saying? However you're going to do it, but create a red zone package for that man because Russell Wilson can throw the ball deep. He can throw the ball in general. He can get the team, in field goal range, but the last 5 weeks of the season, that's about all he's been doing. He can't get them past that point, especially when things get tight. And here's the other part about that with Russell Wilson. Because he is who he is, and he's a I want to be nice when I say this, he's a vertically challenged fellow, right?
I can say it.
Of course you can say it, big guy.
I can say it. I say it full chest.
He's further away from you in terms of height than he is from us, so we're not going to say that.
That's why I said I'll take it.
Okay, all right, fair enough. So
I'll see you
because he's the height that he is, being in the red zone means you have to be able to play even more from behind the line of scrimmage. There's not enough space for you to really put a lot of stress on the defense at that point because there's just not enough distance between you and the end zone. There's not enough space for you to really make the defense move at that point. They usually have the advantage in the red zone. So I think having something like that, in terms of what Justin Fields can add to the team, I think would be huge for them if they decide to do it. But yeah, so I think Ravens are gonna choke. Honestly, I mean, until I see it, I don't believe that Lamar Jackson can handle the weight of the playoffs. I mean, it's literally every single down in the playoffs is live or die.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Every single down, it really is. And I don't trust him to be able to carry that weight. Not yet, anyway. Roy says, anyone remember Randy Newman's song "Short People"?
I don't remember the song, but I know Randy Newman. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
You would know. You watch Family Guy. Remember the episode where they had the apocalypse or whatever, and the guy playing the piano about the apple falling down. He was singing. He was narrating.
Right. That was Randy. That was Randy Newman.
I don't know if I remember. It's been so long since I've seen Family Guy.
Yeah, I forget. I think it was a Twinkie. I don't watch Family Guy. It's been a while. And they took out Cleveland, so I boycotted everything.
I'm not watching this.
I'm not watching none of this garbage.
Sunny Son Brian, ain't seen you in a minute, man. How you been? He says, sad situation with that Deshaun Watson re-injury, fellas. SMDH. Shaking my dang head. I know he ain't say dang, but that's what I'm saying.
Now he said that gum.
He done. Yeah. Watson done.
Yeah. He's been done.
I would love to be able to sit and have a conversation with the dude to see what changed. I get that sitting out a full year of football, almost a year and a half, I understand what it does in terms of slowing your progression down. But to create as big of a regression as it created, to some degree, I have to think a big portion of the reason he wasn't playing well was because of the system that he was in and what he was being asked to do. I have to think that. Because for him to have the level of success that he was having with a Bill O'Brien in a vertical passing game, and then to go to a power run, power scheme, pro style offense in Cleveland, I have to think that that's just not his game. It's just not his game. It's not the way that he ever wanted to play football, So, I don't say that to say that I, want to make an excuse for Deshaun Watson because to some degree you got to learn, you got to figure it out, if you want to be known as one of the greats, but. Man, there's a case for it and there's a case against it. And for me, the case against it is look at what Sam Darnold is doing. He sucked when he first came in the league, and you have to think now maybe it's because of the coaching he was getting. You know what I'm saying?
You ever see the movie Mr. Right with Queen Latifah and Common?
Just Right.
Just Right. Sorry,
okay.
Just Right.
I didn't see it, but I'm familiar with the movie.
So basically what happens in the movie is Common, he plays for the Nets, New Jersey Nets? Mm-hmm. He plays for the Nets. Great player. He gets an injury. So Queen Latifah is the therapist trying to coach him back to playing. And his problem was because of the injury, he never trusted his capability to play like he used to play. And I think that has a little bit to do with
kind of like Trey White.
I think it has a lot to do with Deshaun Watson. I don't know if he fully has that trust that he can play at the level he played in Houston after that injury because he's never played the same. He kind of remind me of C.J. Stroud's first year. Like, he was killing it.
Yeah.
Like, he was good. He was running, making the good throws. But now, ever since he put on that Cleveland helmet, never been the same.
Do you think some of that was how he came back into the league in terms of, he came back into the league, he was traded, and then he got a huge contract, the only guaranteed contract aside from Kirk Cousins, ever given to a quarterback for that amount of money, though, $230 million. Do you think the contract plus the change in reputation and maybe people not cheering for him as much as he's used to? You know what I'm saying?
I think it was more psychological than it was his physical talent.
Okay.
And I wanted to make sure to have you back here. Because you said New Jersey Nets. But you young bucks out there, that used to be a thing.
Yeah.
It wasn't always the Brooklyn Nets.
So real quick, Tommy is about to go on a quick timeout here because he said, can we move on and talk about Singletary and Cook?
I thought that was my phone. I'm like,
Singletary.
You're right. He trying to spark his exactly. Exactly right. Exactly what he wants to see is another battle happen in the studio.
I will double down here because how do you say this? Yarditov? Question, guys, was who was going to be the surprise standout performer for the Bills this playoff run? For me, it's Coleman and Cook. Tommy. These are highly motivated individuals with greatness potential. Greatness, not single yard potential. Greatness. Whoop, whoop.
Just got to put you on notice a little bit.
I'm holding one of 3 mics here.
I'm right behind you.
Hey, you. Slow down a little bit.
Right.
Right. I'm not gonna pull you over yet, but just slow down.
Right. Pull you over.
I didn't say it.
I'm gonna ask you first. Is one of your turn signals out?
Do you pop it, huh?
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
I didn't. I mean, that'd be him. That'd be Yarditov. That's his fault. I was just reciting his question. Clearly, that's all I was doing.
No. It's not that because we haven't even started talking about the game. So Yarditov says, "Big up, y'all seem nervous. The energy is low. The Broncos are the best test for the Bills' balance and coaching."
I second that. We're not nervous. The energy's. I'll tell you. I'll let you in on my life right now. This has been a long week, 2 jobs, and they pushed me to my limits. Today was a day of days. So this is my escape. I'm gonna be very wacky today.
Yeah.
For real.
Very wacky. So please find your laughs where you can and stay with us.
I mean, as far as the matchup though, but in my worst nightmare, we still win the game.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
The only 2 things that I will give caution to with the Broncos is special teams on both sides. Reason why, Kydrington might not play. That's a big red flag for us because this is the playoffs, as you alluded to, there's no room for miscues or mistakes. Mm-hmm. There's no room for it. So because we don't have our punt returner, it may cause issues. And the fact that Marvin Mims on the other side, like I said, if they kick it to him on either side, either punting or kickoff, he can make a big play.
Right.
The only thing that I'll give credit to is the last time we played these boys, they had 4. They caused 4 turnovers.
Mm-hmm.
So if the Bills stay focused, don't turn the ball over, and do what they've been doing all year, we should have no problem with this team. However, like I said, those are the only 2 caveats that gives me a small concern is Marvin Mims and the special teams and a lack of not having Kydrington and if they can cause turnovers.
Yeah, no, that if there's one thing on that Broncos offense that really worries me, it is Marvin Mims. I've seen too many times this man going over the top, and here's the deal with that. It's not just as simple as Marvin Mims running deep. It's how the plays are set up. It's set up in a bunch of different ways with the way that Sean Payton draws it up. And I think that's the one thing that I'm certain the Bills are not overlooking, but anybody who and listen, I know I'm predicting a blowout, but that's for a couple of other reasons. I don't think we can overlook what Sean Payton brings as a play caller. You know what I'm saying? This is a guy when he has a quarterback he likes and he has a quarterback that can handle his system, it looks like Drew Brees and the Saints. You know what?
I'm not laughing at you. Look what Joel Brown put.
Dang, my girl just got me a heated blanket. Am I? Oh, no.
For you guys not watching the chat, Joel Brown says, dang, my girl, he got me a heated blanket. Am I a female? No. No. No, I wouldn't say so.
No, don't take it that way, man. She loves you. That's all it is. But back to the Marvin Mims point, it could happen at any point because that's not even their number one guy. Like, if we were playing the Ravens, you know Zay Jones is the deep threat. Like, Rashad Bateman gets some deep passes and stuff like that, but Zay Flowers is the deep threat on that team. You know what I'm saying? So as long as you got eyes on him, for the most part, Christian Benford can stay with Bateman. You know what I'm saying? So when you look at who's covering Marvin Mims, he's coming in as the third receiver. he's in that Tank Dell role, so to speak. If it was Stephon Diggs and Nico Collins on the field, and we talking about the Texans, that spot, that position for a receiver makes it easier to get caught up for a safety. It makes it easier when you're in that inside slot position to put a safety in conflict. Usually from an outside receiver standpoint, and their receivers move around a little bit. Not too much, but the outside receivers typically don't move inside that much. And that's usually the case for a Sean Payton system. He didn't really do too much of that with Michael Thomas either in New Orleans. But when you look at that inside receiver position, from the outside receiver position, it's a little tougher to put a safety in conflict because there's a third defender, which is the sideline. You know what I'm saying? But that inside position, man, is so dangerous. And not saying that I don't trust the safeties, but Nico Collins got deep on us. You know what I'm saying? And look, even though the Broncos don't technically have a run game to speak of, as I said in the last episode, we usually give teams a run game. So if at any point they decide to get any kind of consistency going in a run game and then they play action and it's Marvin Mims against the safety or it's Marvin Mims one-on-one with Taron Johnson deep, I don't want to see either scenario. So, you know.
Yeah, the one reason why I'm not concerned about the Bills and the Broncos, like one of the strengths that we have, I don't know if y'all remember that the last game that we lost to them, or we shouldn't have lost to them. I'm just going to read this off real quick. 9.1, 7.6, 7.4 total. We had 192 yards, averaging 7.4 a carry on 26 carries. And that's Murray and Cook.
Oh, and on Monday night.
Bro.
Wow.
Denver had 38 carries, 122 yards. They're averaging 3.2.
So let me ask y'all this. Is the Broncos' third overall ranking in run defense, is that deceptive? Because it seems like it.
To me, it's the pass rush, right? So if you pass rush, one, it puts the quarterback down. It eliminates the pass game. So now basically you're running when they want you to run. Right. So to me, like, bro, we were gashing this team with Latavius Murray.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I'm not worried about their defense because their strength is one of our strengths. Josh Allen don't take sacks.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So you could blitz and you can come in all you want. You may get one, if that, but you're not going to get 3 or 4.
Well, this is what I take from that defense. This game is set up for a play-action slugfest. We have to run the ball, even if it's not working, because the Bills, I don't know if you noticed or not, are the third highest percentage of playing against a stacked defensive front. So at 28%, we're the third highest, just behind the Ravens and the Niners. So people respect our running game more than people want to admit.
Wow.
So all you need to do right now is figure out how to suck them in. Yeah, I said it. I'm sorry. I can say it because it's just you. So you suck the defense in and you throw it over their heads. You know, that's the key to this game.
Yep.
Because I caught a little bit of your Coach D's corner, and I saw it a lot too, where they line up almost like an all-out blitz.
Mm-hmm.
And with Josh Allen and James Cook behind that line, they're gonna have to think about this a little longer than if they play against the conventional quarterback and a running back. Because just like with the Ravens, you have 2 running threats. So that affords you time to get the clear secure. That affords you time to get the ball out fast.
Right.
But you have to keep running the ball. If you give up the run like you did, what game was that? Was that the Rams game where they ran like the first quarter and then they just stopped?
Yeah.
Us?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if they do that again, we might be sunk. I know everybody trusts in Josh, but you have to commit to show them everything.
Well, here's the thing with the Broncos defense, their heaviest defender on the line is Franklin at 305, 304. Might be 304. But both of their ends are 285 and 288.
Yeah.
Like, those dudes can be moved against their will. You know what I'm saying? They're good at pass rush, but looking at what the Ravens were able to do, especially near the goal line, and I'm referring to the play that I played yesterday on Coach D's corner, plays like that where you're thinking about what Cybo can do on the inside, what Spencer Brown can do in terms of moving people. Their middle linebackers are 230-ish. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Their outside linebackers, their rush linebackers are the heavy dudes. Those are the 240, 250-pound linebackers right there. It's the middle of the defense can be had. That's what I'm trying to say. If you want to hit that B gap, it's going to be there. If you want to hit the A gap, it's going to be there. If you wanted to run one of those double team blocks that you were doing earlier in the season with James Cook back there and just making a gaping hole for him to make somebody miss and go off. So I fully expect the Buffalo Bills to be able to take advantage of this team in the run game. And I think a big part of it is the Broncos have not played a team offensively like the Buffalo Bills. I don't think there's another offense in the league except maybe the Chiefs that are like the Buffalo Bills on offense, where there's no actual number one receiver. There's no one dude for you to put Patrick Surtain on and say shut him down and we'll take care of the rest. It's all scheme for the Buffalo Bills on offense. We're gonna I could see, and this is one of the other things that's been discussed in terms of how to attack this Broncos defense, running backs against their linebackers in the passing game.
Now, do you fear, because they do got a Pro Bowl linebacker, and Nick Bonito. Yep. Do you think he gets off? What advantage does he have against our, or do you think he has an advantage?
Yeah. So if he's on, I'll say if he's on Deion Dawkins' side. See, Deion Dawkins this season has struggled a little bit with speed rush, and I think a solid amount of that has to do with who he has at left guard. You know what I mean? He from a technical perspective, if you're not confident in your left guard, you don't want to leave him on an island, because that's one of the shortest routes to your quarterback. So it's not like Deion Dawkins can plan on getting out wide and beating a speed guy and leaving that space between him and the guard. He's still got to cover that too. So it's almost as if Deion's got to do 1.5 jobs and not just his job. You know what I'm saying?
You got Franklin Myers and Bonito on the same side. So, Deion's gonna be privy to Franklin Myers at all times, just for personal reasons.
Right.
If you look at all the memes he makes after they play against the Jets, usually Franklin Myers was in them last year.
Oh, for real?
That's who he's talking about when he said, "I hate those guys. I cannot stand." That's where that came from him.
So they're gonna run the ball.
They're gonna run the ball, and they're probably gonna go to that side because he hates that guy.
I love it.
Bonito and Cooper, they worry me because they actually have 4 guys that are in the top 20 in blitzes this year. So you never know where they're coming from. They run an even front, but it's kind of like a 3-4 almost. The way they set up. So the speed of it and the tenacity and the aggressiveness that they show in the front 7 is something that we really haven't seen too much of this year.
Yeah.
Not saying they can't do it. We just haven't had a good look at it yet.
Right. So here's a question: How do the Bills defeat their 5-2 that they like to run sometimes? That's one of the things that I saw them run against Lamar Jackson is that 5-2 where they got a linebacker, and I think the nickel corner lines up as a linebacker also, and one of their middle linebackers rushes the passer, and they just go 5 down linemen, and they just full on rush. Not even a blitz. They're not blitzing gaps. They're just going mano-a-mano at that point. For where our offensive line is, do you think that our guys can handle that kind of rush?
That's the thing. I haven't seen enough to know. We haven't seen that kind of looking for it, especially that kind of talent. So that's where I think that the run game, some people are in the comments are saying that Cook's going to have a big receiving game. But you don't see people saying we're going to have a big run game. It's got to be consistent. If you can keep them in that 5-2, that's where you get the play actions in there. We don't run play action a lot at all this year. But if you can do it, especially when they don't expect it, you might be able to capitalize on it. You don't have any mental lapses, any drops, anything like that. That might be your winning strategy this year, because you got Josh Allen who can run, who likes to break tackles, who likes to be active. You got 3 running backs who run, break tackles, get active. So it's not going to be easy feat to just take these guys down like it has been in years past.
Right. Yeah, Videsh, welcome to the show. He says Cook will have a big game receiving. I agree. I think this playoffs in general, this is where Cook starts to go off in the passing game. And it would make sense in terms of doing something that you can do out of a run look, but running a passing play, so to speak. You know what I'm saying? So you're showing the defense something that they've usually seen before and that they expect to come, and then all of a sudden you're sending Cook on a flare route or something like that, and he's getting the ball and beating your linebacker, and now he's gone for 30 yards. I can absolutely see something like that happening on a very consistent basis, especially against this defense. When you get to the Pittsburgh defenses, I would say the Charger defenses, and maybe to a degree the Ravens defense, those teams have maybe one super strong middle linebacker and the other guy is pretty good. So I definitely wouldn't expect to see that there. But if you're talking about going against the Texans, if you're talking about going against who else is in the playoffs that we didn't talk about?
The Chargers.
No, the Chargers got Henley. Henley's a good. He's not a great cover linebacker, so you might be able to get away, but he's still a pretty good linebacker.
You get the Steelers, the Chargers, the Texans, the Ravens,
Texans, Chiefs. I would try it. I would try it against the Chiefs. I think you can get away with that.
I think you could beat it with a 12. I think the 12 can beat it.
The
12
Chiefs
formation. No, what we're talking about with the Broncos.
Oh yeah,
thinking about it.
Yeah,
the way we run, especially showing that Dawson Knox can do it, showing that Quentin Morris is a viable option, and good Lord, what's the guy's name? I had brain fart.
The running back?
Fullback. Yeah, fullback.
Gilliam?
Oh,
Gilliam.
yeah, Reggie. Yep.
Yeah, all those guys are viable options in the pass game. There's no decoys to be had. Everybody can get the ball.
Yeah.
So I think that's something they have to have in the back of their mind. And when they're lining up in their base set, which, like you said, is a 5-2 usually, if you have just that 1 second of hesitation, that 1 second of thought, that can make a world of difference against this kind of team.
Yeah. Beth says, we could also get lucky and catch Denver high on their blowout of KC. Yes, it was their backups, but it was still a win against KC. That can get to your head in the wrong way. That's actually a pretty good point. I like where you're going in terms of the subtlety or the nuance of what a win like that could do to the psyche. You know what I mean? Like, they were so close to beating the Chiefs earlier in the season and got their field goal blocked, and they finally, in a sense, got that victory over the Chiefs. Like, the Broncos have not been one of those teams that ever beat the Chiefs. They play them tough. You know what I'm saying? But this was like, what is this like? This is like a drought win against the Patriots for the Bills. You know what I'm saying? Like, we don't get to experience those much. So any win over these dudes is like, yeah, hell yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that extra exuberance, that extra confidence you get from, man, we really spanked those boys. Yeah, it was their backups, but, man, we spanked them boys. Did the Chiefs score a point, or was it just?
No, it was 38-0.
Right. So, yeah, so that is by far like, yo, we spanked those boys.
But you know what's funny? That's not even their best win. Well, I won't say win, the best game that they're showing. The best game to me that Denver played all season was when they lost to the Chiefs by the field goal. That was their best game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Every win that they won, they've beaten all bad teams.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they got one win against a plus 500 team, and that's Tampa Bay. Other than that, they got
and that
beaten.
Was early in the season, wasn't it?
Early, yeah. They got beaten by the teams who you expected to, and they beat the weak team. So, like, I can't see them beating the Bills.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, RC3 had a good point. I expound upon that, too. He said, let's not forget Ty Johnson. I predicted that we're going to have a lot of two-back sets. Now, this is where I would take it. I want to expound upon that and take it another step higher.
Sure.
That could be somewhere you put Curtis Samuel in the back there with James Cook or somebody like that. On one of those motion routes.
Wishbone.
Well, one of those motion routes that he runs, in the beginning of the year where they were running the motion and then pop out.
Yep.
A 5-2, all your guys are in a condensed set. So if you got that kind of speed, he get outside.
Yeah,
you get him in an advantageous matchup. That's your win right there.
Right. You would almost have to show them something early to get them to play that early so that you could take advantage of it. I like that. I like that chess move there where you're okay, we know the 5-2 is coming at some point, and we know you want to throw it at us when we least expect it. So let's bait it out of you early so that we can beat it and make you less likely to use it later on in the game. Yep. I like that a lot. I think that's right up my alley in terms of making people think themselves out of a victory. Videsh says, I think this is the first time the Bills entering the playoffs fully healthy by far. Was there another 2020 maybe? Was anybody hurt in 2020?
Probably.
I feel like I feel like we always had somebody.
Yeah, it's always
a major injury.
Yeah, I was gonna say, this is the marquee matchup. What were you guys doing on January 25th, 1992? Because this is the last time we played the Broncos in the playoffs.
Oh wow. Dang.
Yeah.
So John Elway days.
Yeah, I was still eating your cornflakes and Fruity Pebbles and watching Saturday morning cartoons.
How did that game go?
We won 10-7.
Well, I definitely don't hope the game goes like that.
If we win, I don't care.
Well,
give me 2-0. I'm good with that.
Okay, well,
I'm in there. Line me up.
That's a good point. But in all seriousness, I think we should consider this. What will that say about the Bills team if they win a game like that against the Broncos 10-7? Like, is that should we just be happy they won? I mean, well, obviously we should be happy they won, but I mean, like, do you think that's a negative impact on the Bills?
I think it kind of plays, one, that they need to rethink their position coming into playoffs because, like we said, like, you can't sleep on any team. Mm-hmm. Also, it kind of gives confidence to the team that's coming in, thinking like, oh, they suck. So they can use that as an advantage. Mm-hmm. But, like, yeah, don't think just because we had a bad game there that we're going to have a bad game against y'all. Y'all going to have an easy time.
Yeah.
The way I look at it, this is what I look at this as. Because if things go the way they're supposed to, we'll beat the Broncos and play the Ravens. We've seen the Ravens before. People sleep on Bo Nix. That's the big thing. People are sleeping on Bo Nix because he's a rookie. Do you realize Bo Nix made a career out of college football? Bo Nix played 6 years of college football. Bo Nix is the all-time snaps by a quarterback. Most snaps by a quarterback all time. He's second in passing yards to Case Keenum. He's first in pretty much everything else. In yards, in volume stats because he played so long. He played at Auburn for 3 years. 4 years. He played at Oregon, which is a step down. But you figure, what did Amari Cooper say when they said, what was it like to be in front of – this is how you know we don't have these kind of players. Because what did Amari Cooper say when they said, what was it like to be in front of those fans? He said, I went to Auburn. I'm used to it being loud. Alabama. Bo Nix went to Auburn. He played against teams that had 102,000 people in the stands. He played against 103,000, 80,000, 90,000 people in the stands all the time. Mm-hmm. It was a step down until he went to his last 2 years. Right. So, it's different when you play in the pros, but at the same time, it's not somebody – he didn't go to university. He didn't go to Kent State.
No, he looks comfortable out there. Man.
That's the thing. Yeah. And he's also older than people remember. He was supposed to be a flash and pan, a bad pick, one of those J.J. McCarthy kind of picks. Yeah. But then you realize you're with Sean Payton, who makes things easy for you.
Yeah, exactly.
So in my mind, if it goes 10-7, it's not as much an indictment as it is we didn't think we were going to get the guy we got behind that line that we got on Sunday. We saw the Ravens. We got beat like a drum by the Ravens. We ain't going to forget that. Right. All we got to do is get past this game, and then we got something for the Ravens, hopefully.
Right. Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
The Bills have been very good in revenge games. We saw what they did against the Jaguars, and one of the things my pop says was, even if the Jaguars didn't want it to be a revenge game, they're so bad it doesn't even matter. It was going to be one anyway. Mm-hmm. But I do think for what we saw the Bills do when they went into a game wanting to put the beat down on a team. We see the Lions game, we see the Chiefs game. Like those are games where the Bills went in like, yo, we gonna punch these guys in the mouth from the first minute on. You know what I'm saying? My hope is that that's what we see happen in this Broncos game because it's definitely well deserved. I mean, they came in here and basically snatched the heart out of your offensive coordinator. Maybe it was a blessing in disguise, but this is still a team that caused you to have to fire a staff person. You know what I'm saying? Right. As a GM, as a head coach, I don't take that lightly. You forced me to fire somebody I didn't want to fire. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So now you got to pay. And listen, like you pointed out, this is a Broncos team that when faced up against good competition, Joe Burrow, they went toe-to-toe with Joe Burrow, but Joe Burrow's defense is horrible. That's the only reason you even stayed in that game, right? You went up against a Ravens team in Week 9 that had just started to fix their secondary, and they blew you out 41-10.
Yep.
So that's a big part of the reason why I think this game is not going to be close, because when you look at what Josh brings to the table, he negates a pass rush. He negates what you want to do on defense in terms of disguising and blitzing and all that stuff. He is the ultimate equalizer when it comes to whatever your defense wants to do. And the edge that he will always have over Lamar Jackson, even now and forevermore, is he processes the game faster and better than Lamar Jackson does. And even when Lamar Jackson gets better at that, Josh will still be ahead of him, because from day one, Josh has been better in that sense than what Lamar Jackson can do. And that's no slight against Lamar Jackson in terms of his playing ability, but it is simply what shows up on tape when you look at – I showed it in the first play that I showed on Coach D's corner. Lamar Jackson only had 3 receivers running routes at that point. And the Broncos they faked the blitz, they faked an A-gap blitz, and then the 2 middle linebackers pulled out into zone coverage. And so they ran like a hybrid man zone where if a guy comes into your zone, you cover him man until he goes into the next guy's zone. The Bills do this a lot, right? And they ran something like that with the Ravens only having 3 receivers, and three receivers were covered. Lamar Jackson is still standing back there looking for somebody to throw to. Like, dude, get out of there. Your offensive line just got beat by a 3-man rush, essentially. You know what I'm saying? Like that shouldn't happen. You got a running back and your right tackle trying to double team Jonathan Cooper, and then you had your tight end and left tackle, or it might have been your guard and left tackle, trying to double team Nick Benito on the other side, and they still both sandwiched your quarterback. Josh is not letting that happen. The second he sees there ain't nobody open, I'm out. I'm gone. Now your pass rushers got to chase me. Now they about to get tired, because they're going to be chasing me all day. Guess what that does to a pass rush when they got to run after a quarterback all day long?
Yep.
Like, the pass rush ain't the same.
Yep.
That's what we're going to see in this game. I wholeheartedly expect that to happen, and it's going to be because Josh is the freaking man. I don't care what nobody say about this whole MVP conversation. Lamar Jackson will never be better than J17.
And speaking of Josh, we talked about before. Do they really pay attention to like the media and what's being said out there? I don't know if y'all saw, but John Elway openly admitted one of his biggest mistakes was not taking Josh Allen in that draft.
Yeah. We knew it for a while.
Openly admitted it. Just said that's one of the biggest mistakes I made by not drafting Josh, because I could have literally got him, but I didn't draft him.
Mm-hmm.
You don't think Josh hears that? You don't think Josh listens to that? Like, okay, what's up, John?
Right.
Should have had me, bro.
Yep.
Like, I think, and then too, like I said, he didn't forget the previous game, because they lost, and like you said, it got his offensive coordinator fired, but he also threw 2 picks in that game, right? Whether it was his fault or not, he still threw two picks. But so to me, Josh has not forgotten that loss, especially it was at home. And 2, I think he pays attention to what's being said about him. And the fact that John Elway said, hey, I made a mistake not drafting him, I think Josh is going to add fuel to that fire. Like, yeah, he sure did.
Yeah. I mean, I think there could be something to that. I can't really get into where Josh's mind really is, what his thought process is. Like, for some of us, yeah, but if you really like being in Buffalo, you're like, thank you. Thank you for not doing that. Thank you for passing me so I can go to Buffalo. You know, so I don't know. You know, it's just it's tough without knowing the mentality of somebody for real. Like, I wanted to listen to, after listening to McDermott's press conference and still talking about trying to figure out ways to get home with the front 4, which is not happening. Stop it. Just cut it out, please. It hasn't happened. It's not going to happen. It won't happen until you figure out you need the blitz. You need to send the 5th guy. You need to send somebody that they don't see coming. So stop it. You know, I've listened to Josh Allen and putting, one foot in front of the other. Cut the noise. Stop it. You in the playoffs again. What we going to do? You know, what we going to do? That's what I want to know.
Right.
And you know, I get it, but at the same time, I'm trying to figure out how many of these guys, and I listen to Lamar, I listen to Mahomes, I listen to some other higher profile players, not saying higher than Josh per se, but higher profile players people listen to. And what they give away. Do they do team speak all the time? Do they always speak in code? No, they don't. You know, they they let you in a little further, and I wanted to really delve into, and I challenge people to delve into the other teams as they make it through the playoffs. Jalen Hurts, y'all asked for this, right? That kind of stuff. Are you angry? Are you mad that everybody in the podcast circuit is saying that you're not going to make it past the divisional round? I don't want that. Say F you, Post-Podium Podcast. Say F you, Locked On. Say F you, everybody. Watch this. That's what I want to see. That's what I want to come from my quarterback, what I want to come from, McDermott. We know McDermott's not, but did you see that there's a report that McDermott now is more loose in the behind the scenes? Mm-hmm. Dad jokes, snow angels, all this stuff. There's a big article on that. I mean, it's easy to do when you get to this point. You're at a good place, but you gotta press on. You gotta keep going. The job's not done.
Right.
Hey Kobe, you guys are up 2-0, and you happy like, what's there to be happy about?
Right.
The job's not finished. This is a 1 and out. You lose one time, you get caught lacking one time, you're done. Yeah. You watching the Ravens play next week, maybe. You watching Mahomes again. You watching Britney in the press box again. Yeah. Taylor Swift again. And where are you? Thinking about 2025. I'm tired of that. And so I want my guys. I want to rally the troops. I want my guys to really take this personal. Be mad. If you lose, you lose. But I want out physical. I want you guys to play a brand of Bills football we haven't seen in years. So right. If anybody's listening, anybody's parent, anybody's cousin, anybody's girl, tell your people. Keyshawn's telling them to really get in them cheeks. Yes, I said it. There you go, Junie.
Bro.
Love you, man.
All right, so I just figured out one more thing that I think leans or lends towards the Bills winning this game decisively. Do you guys remember the Hail Murray?
Yes.
Do you remember how well Josh played in that game?
No.
Sadly gets overshadowed because
the Hail Murray.
The Hail
exactly.
Murray. So all everybody thinks about is
exactly.
I don't remember the game. I just remember that.
Exactly.
So this is from the year 2020. That's the Hail Murray, right? And in that year, Josh went 32 of 49 for 284 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Now, 2020, you say he's still sugar high Josh at that point, so the 2 interceptions, understandable. But for his efficiency to be where it was, his completion percentage was 65%, which is, right where you wanted it to be at that point in his career. It was a good game for him. That was his first time seeing a Vance Joseph defense. Now, for him to do that well against a Vance Joseph defense, and then now 4 years later, we're going to see another Vance Joseph defense. He saw it. Vance Joseph was there last year too, right?
I believe so.
Okay. So the reason I'm not counting last year is because this year's offense and offensive coordinator is completely different. The Josh Allen that we're seeing now is not the Josh Allen that we had even last year. So this is the third time now that Josh will have seen a Vance Joseph defense, and the second time with most of this personnel that Josh will have seen a Vance Joseph defense. Listen, you want to show Josh something 3 times? I guarantee he going to snap your neck by the 3rd time. I just trust my guy so much that I think that something like that, you want to show your hand 3 times and think he won't remember what, exactly what he's supposed to do against it? Come on, man. You're playing yourself. Regardless of what Sean Payton is going to do on offense, there is no way that it is going to end up like the Rams game or the Lions game or something, just ridiculous like that. Even if our defense does not play well in this game, we still going to score points. I'm sorry. There's just no way for them to stop everything that we have.
The other thing that people probably don't think about, but, again, like I said, we were undefeated at home this year, but Josh Allen's playoff record at home is 5-2.
Mm-hmm.
And that's only to KC and Cincinnati. So, I don't know. I just don't – like I said, stranger things have happened, but I just can't see Denver knocking us out at home, especially in the first round.
Right.
Can I still be a Nuggets fan?
Can you still be a Nuggets?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Well-
just want to make sure because Denver is just in third.
Well, not this week.
Well, they play tonight. Can I get tonight?
To me,
Game is Sunday.
football and basketball is two separate things.
Wait, basketball be changing their colors a lot. What are the Nuggets colors right now?
I don't know what they're playing tonight. I don't know what they're wearing tonight.
I do think that's dope about basketball, though.
Did he
Like
change
they
up so much?
Yeah, like they don't stick with just the base
Yeah.
colors. Like they got mad jerseys.
Yeah.
I like that. I wish the football would do
Sorry,
that.
man. I mean, they got the 5280 jerseys. They got the city line jersey with 5280 Mile High.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I hate those ones, but anyway. And it's funny because let's see. I remember, and this takes it's going to go a little dark here, but I remember when I started off in my avionics career. This was 2005. I started off. I don't remember exactly what year, but you guys at home probably do. If you remember when Denver came to Buffalo, what happened in the game where Denver played in Buffalo, around that time. Talking about Kevin Everett. I remember working that flight on the way out. That dude was inconsolable. That dude cried and cried and cried. And, like, I just never forget. And this is, because I'm thinking about going to work and seeing that plane. Not that plane that was here that day, but just thinking about the events. And we forget about that when we talk about DeMar Hamlin. But it was the same thing. You had a guy who was dead to rights on the field. Life-saving maneuvers, quick thinking. I just want to. If anybody's listening that was there, that helped, that was any kind of support, just thank you. Thank you for saving lives. And it just touches home when you see the aftermath for something that's supposed to be a game.
Yeah. Yardy Tov says this is a game where Josh has to take advantage of Surtain on the weak side. He must challenge Denver's overconfidence. It depends. I mean, Surtain is not a guy that I want to like. To be clear, Patrick Surtain has the lowest quarterback percentage against in the entire NFL, which basically means he's the best cover guy in the league. Any quarterback targeting him, I think the number was 55%, 55 point something percent, right? And I'd rather take my chances other places. I think there's going to be too many other places to go with the ball. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're talking about the running backs being a part of the passing game and all that kind of stuff. I really think this is going to be a clinic on how to keep another team's offense off the field. And it's not going to be the Bills. It's going to be the Broncos. I think the Bills are going to do that. They're going to take what the Broncos' game plan should be against the Bills, and they're going to do it to them. You know what I'm saying? I like, honestly, even though this defense is as good as it is, like I said before, they've not played a quarterback like Josh Allen, not even Lamar Jackson. But when they did play Lamar Jackson, they got blown out. So stakes are higher. Yeah, they got a good head coach. Yeah, they got all these weapons on defense. Yeah, they're sneaky good on offense. So what? It's not going to amount to a dub. Mark says Denver is more of a man-to-man team, right? We're going to see a lot of mesh routes for the Bills. Well, yeah. So this is the other thing too. In the Ravens game for the Broncos, they tried to switch it up as much as possible. They're not terrible in zone, but obviously they're not as good as they are in man. You know what I mean? So they tried to switch it up and play some zone against Lamar Jackson. It didn't matter. When you have a quarterback that can exploit a pass rush like that, and let's be real, a pass rush is never going to be efficient every single down. There's going to be a gap somewhere. There's going to be a way to escape or get out or get around or something like that. All Josh needs is a sliver to sneak through, and it's over, right? The first touchdown that the Ravens scored was on Lamar Jackson scrambling and finding a guy open against their man coverage in the end zone. It looked so easy when they did it, and that's going to exist times 2 with the Bills because there is no, okay, Pat, you cover their number 1. I'll take Rashad Bateman, and we'll be good. They're going to have to go to their third receiver, and they don't have one. Everybody's, you know what I'm saying? Everybody's an option. You're going into any offensive play with at least 5 options out on the field at any given time?
Oh, you done pissed Roy off.
Why?
You said root, not route.
What? We gonna do the tomato thing?
Roy said it, not me.
Roy, we really gonna? Okay, all right. People don't say Route 66, do they? What do they say? They say Route 66. Right or wrong?
There's a song for it, yeah.
There you go. So I'm just going based off that. This is regular English, man. That's all. It's not the King's English, or the Queen's English, but it's English.
It's English,
nonetheless, right?
It's our English.
Let me get away with something. Damn, Roy. Let me get away with something.
I got paused like 3 times in the
Oh,
comments
yeah,
a couple
you
times.
did.
So they on me every day.
The spirit of the producers in the house.
Yeah, overshadowing.
Right.
Man.
Ain't nobody letting us get away with nothing.
Not a thing.
Yeah. So, all right. Roy says wrong for me. Okay. So before we move on from this Broncos game, any other points that you guys wanted to bring out about expectations for the game, what you think we might see, things to watch out for?
The only other thing is, because of Knicks' running, we're gonna have to send a quarterback spy. I think we're gonna have to spy him, because what's gonna happen is and that's just another thing about him being a rookie. Not to say that he can't do it, but usually rookies, they don't process it fast enough. So when the play breaks down, he's gonna look to take off. If we play everybody back, he's gonna get us in the run game, kind of like what Josh Allen's gonna do to them. So I think you got to send one guy to spy him just in case, to keep him contained when the play breaks down, so he doesn't run out and make a splash play.
I could definitely see Sean Payton saying, "Hey man, if it ain't there, just take off."
Yeah.
Yeah. Because so here's the other thing too. Denver Broncos have okay. So this is good. Thank you for bringing that up, because I forgot to get this out too. The Broncos have a good offensive line, especially in terms of pass protection. So
great. We don't have a pass rush.
Exactly. right. So it may end up being a situation where we might not even need to spy, because you know what I'm saying? If our pass rush ain't getting past the offensive line, that means he's going to have a lot of time. Yeah. That's one of those situations where, and I think that's why I said you got to go into this game in a similar way that as what you did against the Chiefs and the Lions and even the Rams in the second half, where defensively, look, we just got to do whatever we can to get some kind of pressure, simulated pressure, something. We got to do something to throw this quarterback off his game so that we can either get to him or shut down whatever he's trying to do. And I think to a larger degree, that's probably going to be the biggest trouble in this game for the Bills defense. It's not their run game. Yeah, they got big physical running backs, but they don't read their lanes properly. Whatever scheme they're running, it's not working for the running backs. Javonte Williams is off his game. Estime is I don't know.
Estime plays like that. Estime doesn't get gaps. He makes gaps.
Well,
that's not me trying to be funny. It's like, it's true when you go to Notre Dame even. He didn't find a crease. He just found the smallest guy and ran him over and then tried to get It's like, okay, I see where this is going. I'm like, okay, mini Bettis.
Right,
yeah.
Right.
I mean, that's his game. I think he is that, and that's why I wanted him here with Cook, because I knew he had the speed element. But Ray Davis he's a pinball. May I say this? I don't know if you guys are watching the bowl games.
Depends on what it is.
No, this is legit. This is legit. Usually it's not, but I'm going to shock myself right here.
Right, exactly.
But did you guys check the Arizona State game versus who they play? Arizona State played Texas in the Fiesta Bowl. Man, oh man, Cam Scatterable, the guy
he had a big game.
I mean, if you watched him play, you would want him.
Yeah.
The dude does not go down.
He got like 21 touchdowns or something this year, right?
Yeah, he had 21. He's the only player in the nation that has more yards rushing than Genty had yards after contact. But this dude literally does not go down, and he's as tough as they come. He caught up the whole Texas defense before the game. They lost, but he said nobody in the nation can stop me. He said nobody in this nation can stop me.
That's what he said?
Yeah.
Wow.
On record. And it's a safety for the team for Texas. They won, obviously.
Well, now
overtime.
he'll never come here now. He's too cocky.
No, he would. McDermott would not welcome him.
Right.
But
be like the Coleman pick.
the safety
Just hide
said,
him.
you know, I don't think you see nobody like us. We got something for you. Guess what happened? They had to pick the safety up off the field. He tried to go mano a mano on him. Yeah. He got trucked. Yeah. And they had to hoist this guy off the field. Not in victory, just to get him off the pavement. Wow. Scatterboo was on the side. Scatterboo, I don't know if you say either word, but he was on the sideline just losing his lunch, yelling at people, yelling at his offensive line, challenging people. You know, and I'm watching these guys. I'm watching these boys. I'm like, yo, what do we get that? Maybe not him, but, you know, that kind of fire. Yeah. But we don't have that here. And it's like, that's not the culture. I'm like, man, I want a couple guys like that to incite somebody.
If only Alec Anderson could run the ball.
Now you talking. So anybody that wants that big throwback, you know, my boy, he's always talking about betters. You know who you are. I hope you're watching. Watch Cam Scatterboo, because that's going to be a guy you're going to like.
Okay. All right. So Steve says, I have a gut feeling that Von has an off-the-charts playoffs. Yeah, I think they've been saving him. I really do. I think they've been saving him. Trey says, Scatterboo is the white version of Marshawn Lynch. If that's the case, bring his behind right here.
Yeah.
Bring that boy. Man, listen, okay.
He went for over 200 yards of total offense, catching the ball, running. He ran for like 140. He caught for like 50 yards. Yeah, it was ridiculous.
Fantasy alert.
Roy, cover your ears.
Draft my man next year.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
So I know the guy this year was Barkley. Running backs don't repeat that back to back. So everybody's probably going to be big on Barkley.
Yeah.
Except me. Well, go ahead and take Barkley. I'll take this guy right here.
Yep.
I'll take him.
Yep.
Yeah. He's legit. I mean, I'm having a ball watching these bowls. I'm having a ball.
Okay. We definitely going to be getting more into that.
Oh, I got my spreadsheet handy already.
Already?
You already started it?
Oh, did I?
Dang.
Did I? I got position by position tabs on this thing already.
So let's do this. Before we end this episode, we got what?
No, we got time. I got to be up by 8:30.
Okay. All right. So before we end this episode, I want you to give us your top 5 players in tonight's game to watch. You got 5?
Tonight's game to watch? Yes. Okay, I can do that.
All right, perfect.
Is today the Cotton Bowl?
It's Texas versus Ohio State.
I could do that. Well, I don't know if they're going to be playing, but I have 5 players for both respective teams. You know, if they sit out for reasons, you know, if they want to go to pro and they forego it, I don't know if they're not playing. But I got 5 players.
That's kind of crazy. They in the playoffs and they gonna sit.
They've been doing it like crazy, dude.
Really?
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
Wow.
Marvin Harrison Jr.
Yeah.
However,
hold that thought.
Let me add this to thing, because y'all know how infuriating I was with him during the draft.
Mm-hmm.
However, my man Coop at work, you might know Coop because he went to Sweet Home. He told me he gave me perspective that I never looked at, and I was like, dang, he had me questioning. He made a good point. He said, think about it. He said, what if you were the top student in your field for like programming, right? You got Microsoft, you got Apple, you got Samsung, all these big tech companies. What if Apple just sucked, right? They were just terrible, but they're the top 3, but they just sucked. When you graduate, you're the top guy. You got to work for Apple. Why don't you have a say in where you go based off of what you can do and your talent? And I'm like, but he didn't earn it. He was like, did he not? Is he not one of the best wide receivers in college? I'm like, dang, you got a point. So you got a point.
Oh, I know that hurt, bro. I know that hurt.
You know what I'm saying? Because like from his perspective, like,
it's right.
Yo, I'm good, and I know I'm good.
Yep.
Why do I got to play for this doo-doo team? Why? Because, just how the cards work? Like, should it be that way?
Yeah. You know what? I never had an issue with players doing that. I always thought it was funny, first and foremost.
He didn't want to play for you.
That's right.
You would do that.
Yeah, right.
Oh, my God. This guy, the petty level of this man is ridiculous.
Oh, it gets worse than that. It gets so much worse than that.
You think I don't know when I do?
But, yeah, man. Yeah, you know what? it makes me feel a little bit better about what Shedeur Sanders said, because somebody told me today that Shedeur is talking about he don't want to go to Tennessee now. He gonna go back to college.
Wow.
Yeah, and I'm like, what you said just a few weeks ago, Deion Sanders said that Shedeur don't want to go nowhere cold. He want to go somewhere warm.
Yep.
Like, bro, Tennessee is one of the warmest places you can go. You be straight. Like,
Right.
Tennessee is the South.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't you want to go to the
Yeah.
Music City?
Mm-hmm.
But he said, man, I go back to college before I go to Tennessee. Okay. I think it's funny, because like Tennessee, like literally think about this for a second. Tennessee 2 years ago was like, I don't want to play that team. They physical, they could throw the ball, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe not 2 years ago, 3 years ago when they were, heavy in the playoffs. Like that was a good team.
About to say they had Derrick Henry.
Right. And literally
And
like
he rushed for 2,000 yards.
Yep, exactly. Like just in a snap, they were bad again.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's crazy how the league works, but I do like that point. I agree. I think if NFL players see, here's the other thing too, because it's not just college. These players have had control their whole entire career. Like, okay, prime example. I've watched young players that go into AAU and all that kind of stuff. I've watched them sit out a grade just to go back in and have an advantage on the class they're going into from a size standpoint, from a physicality standpoint, a mentality standpoint. Like, this is stuff these young players do. They sit out a whole year of school. They homeschool just to be able to skip a class and have an advantage on the class that they're going into. They've had that level of control their whole career.
Yeah.
College,
Yeah.
you sit at a table and you got 5 hats on there, and it's a camera on you where you want to go. I'm going to Miami University, baby. Like, you know what I mean? Like they go off and so for these guys to go into the draft, and it's like, nah, my man, you got to play for the Browns, now,
Right?
dude.
Like, coming from that perspective, I feel it now. Before I was just like, nah, man, you ain't earned it, man. Get out of here, man. Who you think you are? But now, like, those times are past. Because back then, they didn't have a say. Like, there was no transfer portal. There was no NIL deals. Like, you didn't get paid squat. But because you're here, the college is getting paid.
Yep.
And you ain't getting nothing. Now those days are gone. Like, these guys are betting against themselves. Listen, I got the NIL deal. People coming to school because I'm here. I'm doing this. So why wouldn't they have a choice of where they go?
Right. Exactly.
I mean, I college, yes, but this is a draft for a reason. Otherwise, you gotta just eradicate it and go into like a free agent bid process of some sort. Because if you're gonna circumvent the process put in place, that's like trying to get out of jury duty every time it comes up. It's a process.
Yeah.
When you go to college, you got free will. You got the choice of not playing the bowl game. You have the choice of not playing the East West or the Senior Bowl. You get a choice to not go to the combine. But when you go to the league, you're starting over again.
That's a good point, T, because guess what? You're right. Like, let's say, hey, I ain't playing in that. No harm, no foul.
Mm-hmm.
You go to NFL, I ain't playing. Oh, you ain't playing? Guess what, baby? Fine, and you ain't getting paid.
Right.
Yeah,
and somebody else taking your spot.
There's consequences.
Yeah.
So think about it. When you go to high school, what do they do? When we all grew up in the Buffalo public school system.
Yep.
You got to, what was it, apply or bid? Remember we got to apply and
Pick
whoever
you
get into.
what schools you want to go to.
Yeah,
Pick
and
the
then
top
they
3,
from
whatever.
there.
Yep.
But see, when you go to the professional world, Ford. Nah, I don't like the way you made the Explorer. I'm gonna go with Nissan. Nah, you know what? Your Pathfinder suck. You know what? You just lose me. No, you got to go interview for them, and from what you do with them, they decide whether your fate is going to be with their company or not. And that's how this is. This is the business. This is the company. Yeah. Never mind your talent, because we all have talent in our respective field. Look at your podcast. You did this. Yep. People saying this podcast is the quality of you did this. People can't do that. But at the same time, you got to find somebody to pick your show up. You got to find somebody to say, you know what, you in the military, you have what it takes to be here. Yeah. I got to find somebody to say, you know what, get off the phones or come inside and run the people. I can't just say, you know what, today I feel like just being whatever I want. I can't do it.
Yeah.
And that's how a company works.
Yeah, no, that's right. So that's I like that point a lot because to the college, coming out of college point, you can't just walk into a company and say, "No, I don't want to start off at entry level. I want the top."
right. How much you start off with?
Nah, I don't want that. You're gonna pay me $170,000 to sit at this desk and answer this phone. That's what you're going.
I graduated with a 4.0. 4.0.
It don't work like that in the real world. That's a great
right.
point.
It is. Yeah, you just can't. Yeah, college you can do that, but yeah, bro, you don't own the business. Like they're not wrapped around you. If you don't want to play here, all right, hey, you want to play? Okay.
Yeah.
Because you look at
Go
all
about
the
your
guys
business.
that are meandering in the transfer portal, meandering in graduate, meandering in this COVID extension.
Yeah.
Why? Because they want that shot. This is a one out of 246 shot.
Yeah.
There's 50,000 players in college right now.
Yeah.
And you got 246. Guess what? Josh, you want to come to Buffalo? Guess what? Lamar, here you come. Or, something like that, just because that's who was behind. I don't want to say Mason Rudolph because that doesn't matter. But, but the thing is, it's in that competitive field, they always tell you, when you're trying to go into entertainment or whatever, there's somebody just like you right behind you.
Waiting
for you to screw up.
Waiting for you.
Yep.
And you know what, to Key's point, let's just say, all right, I'm really good at what I do.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to play in the NFL, dang, I got to play with Cleveland. But here's the thing, though. After that rookie joint, you pick where you go.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Right?
Yep.
That's true.
So you say, hey, all right, Cleveland, I'm not signing here no more. I've done my due diligence. People know what I can do. Now I'm who the highest bidder. Now you can pick your place.
Yeah, if you really don't want to be there, you can just be like, nah, don't re-sign me. I'm leaving after my contract is up.
Right.
Yeah, you could definitely do that.
That's a good point.
I will say this. I think this point really reveals one of the realest aspects of real life, that when we see it, we hate it, but we know it exists and we kind of just accept it, which is elitism. Mm-hmm. Marvin Harrison Jr. can do that because his dad is Marvin Harrison.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Eli Manning could do that because Archie Manning is his. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like those dudes can get away with that because of where they came from, the name they carry, the background they came from. It like Shador might even be able to get away with that.
Yeah.
Because look at who his daddy is.
Yeah, that's a good point, Because what if Junie was that an athlete just as good? He can't do the same thing.
Because who am I? Like
Aaron is who? Don't get me wrong. You're a great guy, but because you don't have that status, like you said,
exactly,
they can't just play. Oh, you know what I'm saying? And all those dudes you name, millionaires, right? 100%. They come from, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm set whether y'all draft me or not.
Exactly.
I go back and play.
I can never play again. I can be a coach on my dad's squad, and I'm good.
Exactly.
I'm already a millionaire. You know what I'm saying? Where us coming from the bottom, like we ain't got a choice. That's all we got.
See, that's why I have, like what you just said, going through it. Being a injured athlete, just trying to make it, just trying to get an education.
Yeah.
I didn't graduate because I couldn't afford it. But these guys are getting Rolls Royces and they're not even going to school.
Yeah.
These dudes, where's your GPA? UB's got like one of the highest scholar athlete GPAs in the nation.
Wow.
But they don't get recognition for that. I heard Shador don't even go to school.
Dang.
It's all online. He didn't even go. He got a Cyber truck. He got a Rolls Royce truck. For what? Because he's a Sanders kid. Now you're talking about Cam Ward. Who's Cam Ward? Might be the number one pick.
Yeah.
So I mean, the thing is, when you talk about somebody that's been through the trenches, I see it differently. Mm-hmm. Because I didn't get, and I'm not salty about it, but I know the struggle. People talk about it. I didn't get. Those guys get their own dormitory buildings. They have athletic dorms. They have athletic lunch. They make your schedules for you, so that class you couldn't get into because you missed. It's already made. You ain't got to do nothing.
Nope.
They do it for you.
No, man. That Simpson Turley from back in the friggin' the Bears that played at what was Shoshone, the Shoshone Bears.
Simpson Turley.
You Simpson Turley, you took my running back spot, and I'm still salty from that. 40 years later, bro. I don't care.
He watches the show one day.
30 some odd years later, I could have been a star running back, and you took my spot.
Let's see what these dudes talking about. What I do? He had his pizza. He was good to go. His kids watching. Why you slandering you, Dad?
Right. I thought we was friends. He was my backup. I thought we was cool.
I mean, we ran things off each other. Whatever, man. I don't know. I guess I'm wrong.
Made me play defensive end. Man, listen.
Simpson, what are you thinking about?
Right. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my gosh. All right.
My son's good. He can play. Get out of here.
Right, exactly. All right. In terms of the entire playoff story, what do you think is a stronger story for the Buffalo Bills right now in terms of their journey to a Super Bowl? Let's assume that they get to the Super Bowl in the first place, regardless of who they play. What is the best story for the Buffalo Bills at this point in terms of who they should go through, who they could go through, all of that? Give me the best scenario for the Buffalo Bills.
I'm going to play it from the regular season standpoint before the season started. This is a rebuild year. Bills windows closed. They're not going anywhere. Jets are going to win a division. Miami's going to win a division. And then comes the season. The Bills look better than expected. But guess what? Everybody knows Chiefs are coming. You beat them all the year. Who cares? You can't beat them in the playoffs. So you whoop them at home. Whatever. They only lost 2 games all season, right? Then you got the Ravens. Punch you in the mouth in front of everybody. See, I told you the Bills, they ain't all that. Then they win, and they win. Now, to me, you have to go through the Ravens and prove to the world that we can not only can we beat the Chiefs in the regular season, we can also beat them in the playoffs when it counts.
Yeah.
So to me, it will be the fact that nobody, even me, I thought they were going to win the division. I would have told you they ain't going to the Super Bowl, right? So the fact that they proved everybody wrong and going through those 2 teams, the Ravens and the Chiefs, I'm curious to see what can they possibly say if that happens. Like, what negativity could they say?
If they beat the Ravens and the Chiefs?
You beat the best.
Yeah.
The 2 best teams in the AFC. You beat Lamar Jackson, who's probably the MVP. You beat Pat Mahomes, the unbeatable guy in the playoffs. You've done everything that people said you couldn't do, and you did it. To me, that's the biggest story because, one, nobody thought there was going to be nothing anyway.
Who's the team from the NFC that puts the cherry on top of that story?
I was just thinking that's a good question. I was just thinking, my mind went there already.
From the Bills standpoint or from their standpoint?
Just from the perfect Bills story. Who's the team from the NFC that, they beat that team, then absolutely is just undeniable. Like cherry on top, that the Bills best in the world, for sure. No arguments, no debates.
It will have to be I got 2. Either the Eagles, because when we played against them, we lost, and everybody said, oh, you guys, you know what I'm saying? Or, gotta give me the rematch with the Rams. Right? So I'm gonna go Rams or Eagles.
I like those choices, bro.
Think about it. We beat the Commanders already. We beat the Packers. We beat the Bucks. I mean, well, not with
Jaden Daniels.
But when Tom was there. I mean, the Buccaneers when Tom was there. But
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? To me, it's got to be those teams that. In the third, I'll even throw in the third, but to me the story is not as big. Will be Minnesota.
Yeah.
Remember we
good
lost.
Team, good pass rush.
We lost to them, and then now they got Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
Drafted the same year. You know what I'm saying? So that would be like the third story, but I think the 2 biggest impacts would be Eagles or Rams.
Okay. Key, what you got?
I agree with you in the AFC. I do like that. That's exactly what I was going to say.
Ravens, then you got to beat the Chiefs.
Ravens and Chiefs.
Yep.
But the other flip side of the coin, I go for a different reason. Either the Lions or obviously the Eagles. Eagles, I just have a vendetta against Philly. Sorry, I think it was Vu. But I got a vendetta because of Edinburgh. They should never knocked on my door like that when Brian Westbrook ran that punt return back. I'll never forget that. It's only been 23 years now. Then you look at what they said about this team all year long. This team doesn't have any playmakers on defense.
Yep.
This team can't defend the run. And you're talking about 2 teams that Saquon Barkley alone can run you out of the gym. Yep. Then you got, was it Sonic and Knuckles?
Yep.
who obviously we beat them the first time, but they want vengeance, and that, like you said, the revenge game.
Yep.
The team that besmirched you in your gym, or in your field, whatever. And I think that would be a hell of a storyline for the Bills nationally to play against, especially the Lions, because of Ralph Wilson's ties with both teams. Yep. And the fact that both of his teams are the hottest teams right at that point in the NFL.
Yeah.
Forget the Ravens, forget the Chiefs, forget everybody else. These are the only two teams that matter at this point. For the Lions and Bills, two blue-collar towns to come together in the Battle of Champions, there's nothing sweeter. And to win that, nothing sweeter.
With the one that are statistically one of the poorest cities in Buffalo and Detroit.
Yep.
Yeah.
And there's always something negative about Buffalo and Detroit. And the fact that none of them have a Super Bowl.
Man,
so, like, to me, I hate to say this because I don't want to admit defeat, but that would be the best team to lose to that I would not be, like, super upset about.
Yep.
I would be mad that we lost, but to see the Lions win, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. All the other teams, I'll be pissed.
Yeah.
But not the Lions. All right, it's Lions.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah. I think deep down, every Buffalo Bills fan has a second spot in their heart for the Lions because they've been the, dark side to our light, or the light side to our whatever, however you want to put that. You know what I mean? They've been akin to what we've experienced here for years and years and years.
Yep. They had great players, bro.
Yeah.
They had Megatron.
Yo,
he was one of the best receivers to ever lace up the cleats.
Never seen another guy like him.
Monster, triple team, catching don't matter.
Yep.
They had Barry Sanders, bro. Barry.
Yep.
Man, like they had great elite players, but they just never, ever could do it, man.
They had Dan Orlovsky. Exactly.
Going to the clink for that. So yeah, I'm in agreement. I think if we're talking about the Bills having an undebatable, undeniable story, it does have to be the two best teams in the AFC that we go through to get to the Super Bowl. And I think just about everybody would agree with that. I don't think there's any other AFC team that we have to prove anything against. With the Ravens, we're undefeated against them in the playoffs. The last time we saw the Ravens, we beat them, and we did it with defense. And I think that was one of the few games in the playoffs that we did actually win with defense. So, I think in terms of playoff matchups, if anything, they would have more to prove against us in the playoffs because we're the ones who sent them home.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like regular, as much as people, I don't want to say fret, but as much as people kind of gripe or groan about, we got something to prove against the Ravens, this year because of how they beat us. I mean, we've beaten the Chiefs in the regular season like that, and they knocked us out in the playoffs. And what does it really matter at that point?
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So I think for the sake of this storyline, though, I think you guys are absolutely right. It is the Ravens, just to shut the Ravens fans up. You know what I'm saying? Because look, you think your quarterback's better? Well, he looked real good sitting at his couch at home.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. While I'm up here in the Super Bowl chilling.
You think you'd be watching it with a shiesty on though?
Yeah,
probably.
I think he would.
Yeah,
I think
just
he
no
would.
shirt on, just shiesty.
I think he sleeps in a shiesty. I do. I really do. Just in case he got a mask up. You know what I'm saying?
Just shiesty. Shiesty and some Nikes. That's it.
And I think that would be the icing on the cake, eh? Yeah, Lamar got the MVP. By the way, who got the Super Bowl MVP?
Mm-hmm.
That's what I've been saying, right? That's what I've been saying.
Man,
that's the one I care about.
Man,
Pro Bowl, which I know I can't say it now because Josh isn't first team All Pro. So I'm not Pro Bowl, All Pro.
Yeah.
I can't say that. I mean, that was my kind of leaving it open just in case. But he didn't get that. But those are the only two things I care about: Super Bowl MVP and All Pro.
Dude, I can't wait for that conversation, bro. I can't wait for the questions asked. So, Josh Allen, you didn't get the MVP. People might say you got snubbed. How does it feel now to be the Super Bowl MVP? Like, bro.
Can I get that one?
Oh.
You know he ain't gonna say it.
Watch Joker last year, or 2 years ago. Watch Joker.
You know,
because that's what happened to him. He got snubbed out of MVP because Embiid got it, and then he won the Finals MVP. And he was like, I mean, the best players will play. We do what we do. He always dismisses it, but it's always a backhanded compliment.
Really?
Yeah. So that's how
what happened. He didn't get it.
He went the 2 years before.
Yep.
Then he got snubbed the third year, and then won the MVP of the finals.
Wow.
And that's all that matters. Nobody cares. Embiid who? The Nuggets won the freaking championship, and that's what Josh Allen can get. That's what you're playing for. I mean, don't play to the point where you're trying to get that award.
Right.
But play to the point where you can get the award.
Yeah.
I like what Steve Noble said. You see it?
Where?
I got you. Let me read it. He said, my strongest story is that we beat Denver, Baltimore, Kansas City, and Detroit. Then I want to see my friends Aramis and Steve Lynn start the Sean McDermott's fan
Oh, yeah,
club.
I put that up. Yep.
Love you guys. Oh, yeah, Steve Noble, you forgot. They going to be doing it with a clean face, too.
Ooh. Baby face.
I did forget about that, too. I really did forget about that. Man, I almost don't want to finish my comment now.
Hold on. Can we do it like we did on how they did it on Good Morning Football?
What?
So Kyle, they made the same bet to Akbar,
Uh-huh.
and they made him shave on set.
Oh, I'll bring the Clippers out.
Would you
Yeah,
do it?
yeah.
You do it?
Yeah, I'll do it. I'll do it right here live. Hey, listen, a bet is a bet.
He was like, I ain't never seen you with no beard in it.
You know what I'm gonna be doing while y'all shaving? Yeah, go on, say that over. Yeah, got that ring.
We got
boy.
the ring.
That's it.
Somebody did say, like, so I had drill today, so we had a lot of people at work, and people were saying, like, you know what's weird? In conversation, I'm asking people, like, hey, what you think? A lot of people think we got a shot, bro. And this is the first that I was, the year we went 17 seconds, that would be like the second. But even then, people still had it's the Chiefs. They got Tyreek Hill. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It was still like, it would be nice, but I don't think so. Bro, when I tell you the amount of people who's like, oh, yeah, it's over. I'm like, what? It was like, yeah, we got it. I'm like, really? The confidence is there this year. I don't know what it is, but a lot of people said, listen, I'm waiting to get my third Bills tattoo. She's like, I'll get a Bills tattoo if they win the Super Bowl.
You said that?
No.
Oh, I'm going to say.
What, you got a tattoo pen at home?
I have no tattoos, and I have no intention of getting them.
Yeah. That's something I never thought about is getting a tattoo.
Hey,
well, I have thought about it.
Hey, why would you put a bumper sticker on a Mercedes-Benz? Come on, man.
Right. You see what I'm saying?
man.
Bro,
I got to
give me
find that
some.
Mercedes, though. I got to find
I
that
like
Mercedes,
that. I
but
like that.
I'm with you. Got to find that Mercedes. I'm riding around with a Pinto right now.
Yeah, you need a little bit of an oil change.
I
bro.
need a little bit of squeaky. I'm trying.
Mark says, I like the Lions story, Battle for Lake Erie. Someone's getting their first Super Bowl. My English,
Super Bowl
geez.
championship.
Yeah, first Super Bowl championship. Yeah,
Yeah.
I'll take it. Listen, for me, the team that I think completes the story for the Buffalo Bills, if I want to be able to say it is undeniable that you can't argue it, I think it has to be Philly.
It's got to be Philly.
Because that is the only team in the NFC that from top to bottom, you look at their roster and say, I would love having that guy on my team.
Yeah. A.J. Brown.
Any one of their people.
Any one of their defensive backs.
Exactly.
Saquon.
Well, you know who I like that we didn't take.
Quinyon Mitchell.
No.
I wanted Quinyon, but
Why- I
Keyshawn
knew we
already
weren't
told
gonna
me.
get him.
He told me there's no shot.
Yeah,
we're
that's
getting
why
him.
Cooper DeJean.
There you go.
Yeah.
Cooper did the Pro Bowl. Cooper DeJean.
Yeah, he
I'm
did.
sorry. I keep saying all pro.
All pro.
All pro.
No, OLI, no straight razor. I got one, but I don't trust
He
him with
wants you
straight razor.
smooth.
Yeah, listen, my beard too thick, man.
He wants
you like-
to take you back to the 85.
He wants you Mr. on Color Purple.
No, like in all seriousness, when I was in barber school, my barber teacher used to say, "You got that dirty bark beard, that because my hair is real like super thick."
Yeah?
Yeah. So we used to do straight razor classes, and every time I tried to let somebody practice on me, I was like, no, never mind, back up.
Pull?
Huh? Yeah, because they
Oh.
like you gotta. For my kind of beard, you would have to like steam it and go with the hot steam towel and soften it
Hit him
and
with
all
the
that kind
slice
of stuff.
ball. No.
Wash it, shampoo it, condition it up real
Yep,
quick, and
yep.
then now it's all soft. Now you can hit it.
Yep.
You know
All
what I'm
right, stop bragging, man. You know I'm trying my best to get this little chin area. That's all I got.
saying? You always had that from the time I met you. You had the chin strap.
Yeah.
You had all of that.
That's it.
That's what you just-
But I ain't got. You got the. You were hot before freeway.
See, Yeah.
You were hiking for freeway.
We call that back in the day. That's that grown man Philly right
Yeah.
there. You got the grown man Philly.
It was sad as you go to Philly, they all look like that too.
Yeah.
The airport, all the workers look.
Are you serious?
I was like,
Yeah.
this is real.
Wow.
Yeah, real. Ball head,
Yep.
Leonard Fournette style.
Yep.
Wow.
Yeah, that's the Philly special right there, baby. Philly special right there.
Now I gotta cut it short. I gotta go slim face on this joint. You from Philly? No. You know what's funny? I was giving somebody a ride in the Uber, and they was like, "Yo, you from Philly?" I'm like, "Make them ask that." Now I know why. Now I know why. Because I mean, you can clearly see I ain't got no hair up under my hat and nothing like that. You know what I'm saying? So he probably, you do ball. Oh, you got the big beard.
Like,
Okay,
yeah,
you
I'm
from Philly, bro? No.
Okay.
I'm from here. I wasn't born here, but I'm from here. Nathan Oliver, he says this Bills team has not lost a game at home this season. Just saying. Yeah, we've been saying that too. We've been saying that too. This ain't gonna be the time that we see the Bills lose at home. This ain't the day. This ain't the time. OLI said I'm late. Start from the top of the show. Okay.
Let's start over again. Right. Echo, and then.
Yeah, exactly. That's what happened. Yeah, we got to cut the channel real quick and come back. OLI says Philly is the only NFC East team to not beat us in a Super Bowl.
Yes. So that would, like I said, every time we've been in the Super Bowl, it's been the NFC East. So that will be the last team we would play every time when the Bills win the Super Bowls against that division. Every time. And that time, maybe we get a dub out of that one.
Yeah. Okay, so now we got what? 10 minutes, 5 minutes?
10 minutes.
All right. So in terms of the rest of the playoff landscape, I know we kind of touched a little bit on this in the last episode when we talked about who we thought would win, right? Mm-hmm. But this year's playoffs have a very different feel in terms of level of competition, right? Every team to some degree has a shot at a Super Bowl. Yeah. You can't look at any one team and say they just in there just to get kicked out. I mean, even the Texans at home against the Chargers, there's a heavy line against the Texans right now. Heavy line against the Texans. But, listen, that pass rush is nasty. You know what I'm saying? And even though the Chargers have a good offensive line, they only 1 year into that build. Yeah. And the Texans have the best pass rush in the NFL. The best pass rush in the NFL. They put the most pressure on the opposing quarterback in the entire NFL. Give me you guys' team that you think in terms of what they have to prove has the most, and let's not count the Bills. What other team, NFC, AFC, has the most to prove in this playoffs? It could be a head coach. It could be who's got the most to prove right now.
Well, I think the interesting thought is, especially if MVP goes to black and purple, because everybody's like, you didn't earn that. You're a farce. You got lucky. You got Henry. So now you have to go out there and prove this wasn't, a fluke. But my original thought was Detroit, because before 2 years ago, before your boy was it Johnson, mm-hmm. They were making fun of Dan Campbell. They were talking, he was a meme. They were terrible. They were just not the team that anybody wanted to be. So when you're looking at a team that's now unstoppable, finger quotes, I'm thinking you gotta finish this thing. To be legit. You have to definitely finish what you started, because if you don't, you're gonna go back into the bucket of almost was and never has been, and you can't afford that. So I think those are the two reasons I picked those two organizations to be the team with the most to lose.
Steve, where you been at, man? I've been waiting for you all show long. He says, who's the team in the playoffs with the worst third down defense? Which playoff coach has no Super Bowl win or least appearances? Asking for a friend. Do we know the answer to that?
He said worst on third down.
He said, who's the team in the playoffs with the worst third down defense? which playoff coach has no Super Bowl win or least appearances?
And this is
easy.
wait, is this Steve Lynn?
Yes.
McDermott.
It's
The Bills.
I'm like, wait, what Steve is this? Because otherwise,
right.
and
right.
I think it's ironic that Billy D. Williams says you got to relax them naps.
So
Billy,
he's talking
Billy
about the
D.
beard.
Silky.
He's talking about
I
the
know,
beard.
but Billy D. Williams with the voice. It's silk. Code 45.
Yeah, I think he did that on
relax them
purpose.
naps.
That's probably, yeah. Your voice is your voice deep, Billy D. You can't just call yourself Billy D. Williams if your voice is like, if he's talking like this, you can't be Billy D.
Can't
Williams.
have the
Or
Mike Tyson voice.
do you drink Coke 45?
Or Mad Dog 2020.
Ooh,
Mad
that'll
dog.
peel your cat back, Blue.
Okay. So did I just forget the question?
You said what team has the most to lose?
Yeah, but then I thought about something with okay. All right. So and this reminded me, and I wanted to ask this. If Sean wins this game, wins against Baltimore here, right? And they get to KC, and it's another 13 seconds game. How much do we worry about losing our offensive coordinator? I bring this up now, and we can get to the other point. I just forgot to ask this, and I just want to get it out now. How much do we worry about losing Joe Brady? Because at that point, the man has performed well all season, right? Goes blow for blow, toe to toe, the same way Brian Daboll did with the Chiefs in the AFC Championship game. And in the same fashion, the next year after that, Brian Daboll's out.
I think it's already written. So I think Brady has the option to leave. I think he's going to have a job waiting for him when the season's over, regardless.
Regardless of how far he gets.
Yeah, I think he has one waiting for him right now. As long as he doesn't
Do you
screw
think
the
he takes
interview
it
up.
though? I mean,
That's what I'm saying. He has to take it. But I mean, if you're talking about does he take it, and I think he
Yeah.
takes it regardless.
really?
It depends on what it is. I think he takes it regardless.
Wow. I didn't think he would be that close to being ready for a head coaching job.
So I think the opposite, only because we had a conversation about that today, and it
Okay.
kind of changed my mind. So I'm thinking, like whether the Bills win this game or lose whatever, or whether they will lose or win, he's got so many opportunities and so many positions where he could coach.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the thing, though. Would you really take a job as a head coach at a dumpster fire? Like, would you want to go to the Saints? Would you want to go to Tennessee and coach?
right.
Because guess what? Why would you want to go there? You don't have Josh Allen. You don't have a caliber player like him. So, like, basically what's going to happen your first year? You're probably going to lose bad, probably not make the playoffs. So, like, why would you start your head coaching tenure in a situation where it's already bleak?
The Saints, that's a prime example right there, because the Saints, we talked about negative $73 million in cap.
Yeah.
Yep.
So if I have to go to dumpster fire, I'm going to go somewhere where I have money to build my team.
Right.
You know, because Joe Brady, see, this is where you got to strike. You got to strike when the iron's hot. I would go to, obviously the Giants aren't firing Daboll, but I would go to a team where you're going to get that quarterback and you have some kind of money, or you're going to get that marquee player, but you have money to build around them. You know, it's not so much that Josh Allen effect, you know, because I think we've seen with Sean Payton, Joe Brady runs that same offense. It can be run by a multitude of different people, lesser people than Josh, and even Bo Nix. So I don't think that's as much of a coefficient. I think more so what it is what can I do with what you got? Can I bring my people in? What kind of call, what kind of say do I have? Do you trust me as a new guy to come in and try and fail maybe once or twice before I get it right? What's my security? Yeah. That's the stuff I think that he worries about when he picks the job, whether he wants to go or stay here.
Yeah.
Quick hip fire question quick hip fire question and answer, and then I want to get to your 5 players to watch.
Okay.
Patriots, Jaguars, Raiders, Jets, Saints, and Bears are the open coaching vacancies right now. which job do you think Joe Brady would actually take?
Say that again. What is your
Patriots, Jaguars, Raiders, Jets, Saints, Bears.
I know people think, and they said, like, I think getting Aaron Rodgers out of there, like, the Jets does look desirable, but
the owner.
I really think that they're just cursed like Cleveland. Like, I don't know, something about the Jets that doesn't sit well with me. His best bet out of that list, to me, is Chicago. You have a quarterback who you can work with.
Yeah.
You have receivers you can work with. Pretty much, you got a good defense. Like, you have the components you need to be successful there.
People don't like the GM, though. That's the only thing. Like, do you think Joe could handle – well, I mean, if he can work with Sean, he can probably work with anybody.
And the fact that he's got young, uprising players.
Yeah.
He's got a Dunze. He's got still DJ Moore. He's got you know what I'm saying? I think he has a lot to work with.
Yeah.
So, to me, out of all of them, that would be his best spot that he can land.
Okay.
To me, it would be Chicago.
I would maybe push for Jacksonville because you got Trevor Lawrence in a contract that's manageable. You can get out of it. If you can't work with him, you can get out of it in a year or two. You got $43 million in cap space next year. You can build around him. You have Hines, Allen, and the rest of the guys on that defense. You have them at the end of their contract. You can really assess whether or not you want to keep them or not. You're not hamstrung into somebody that might not fit your scheme if you bring in your defensive coordinator or whatever the case may be. So I think that would be enticing. The Bears one I like. The Jets, you're going there. It's career assassination. It doesn't matter who you are, what you do, you're done there. So that's just out. So I think the Bears was one I really did like. I could see him in New England. I don't think it's going to happen because he's not going to get past Vrabel. But with the quarterback, I believe in their wide receivers.
Would you want to play Josh twice though?
But see, I believe in their wide receivers, and if I feel like I help make Josh, I can help break Josh.
Yeah.
So. I think that they have a lot of what they need already. They just need somebody to cultivate the wide receiver room. Demario Douglas, Keyshawn Booth, you got Jalen Polk, you got Devin Baker. I mean, Javon Baker. Come on now. I mean, that you already have a ready-made nucleus. They're all young.
Yeah. Listen, surprisingly, I agree with No Bones about it. He says New England is the best job for Brady or any other coach. And I think the reason why is kind of the direction you went in, Key, where they not only have a quarterback, but they got the cap space and they got the number 4 overall pick. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So you're stepping into a situation where if you're given the leeway, you have a lot of control with a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? You got a lot of money to work with. You know what I'm saying? You got a lot of capital to use both in draft and financially. So I think that's another good situation to step into. It would suck having to go against that dude, but it is a good job. It's for say what you want about Gerard Mayo. Them getting Drake May and them, getting some of the older players out of there and bringing up some of these new younger guys and having the cap space that they have, they are in a much better position than they were even just 2 years ago. Nathan Oliver says, y'all still won't give not love to the front office. Never heard any love from any of y'all for Brandon Beane. No, I do like Brandon Beane. Listen.
Big baller Beane, baby.
Yeah, I think we all like Brandon Beane. I don't think any of us has an issue with Brandon Beane at all. If the Bills were to fire Sean McDermott, we'd want to keep Beane here and have him be the guy to hire another head coach. And again, just from my knowledge of what happens in the building, the relationship between Brandon Beane and Sean McDermott has been stressed to a degree, especially lately. So I don't think there would be any love lost between the two if Sean did get fired and the team kept Brandon Beane. I don't think it would be a big deal at all.
Stephon Diggs situation.
Yeah, right. We can breathe.
Everybody eats now.
Yeah, right.
Gone, which is dead.
Except it would be everybody in the building can eat now, not just the players on the field. That's really what it boils down to. That can be a big deal for people. Sometimes it's hard to work in an atmosphere like that. So let's get to your players real quick because I know you got to get out of here. It's 8:27.
Yeah. Ohio State, quite simply, Tyleik Williams, defensive tackle, 6'5", 290. He's a force. I mean, he's a pass rusher, but it takes two guys to slow him down. I can see him playing with Ed Oliver. I don't think he's going to make it to our draft pick. I got you down at the bottom. I don't see him making it to our pick, but I think that If he did make it to our pick in the draft, that's somebody I would run headstrong, fast to the podium and take. Honorable mention because it's just not happening right. Jeremiah Smith. You can forget about Marvin Harrison Jr. You can forget about anybody else you're thinking about because this guy's a real deal, 6'4", 220. And he told the nation, as a true freshman, there's nobody that can stop me one-on-one. And he means it because he's a beast. Donovan Jackson, I like his versatility. He played tackle, then went to guard, then went back to left tackle. Ohio State, that's a tall feat when you play in the Big East, or the Big Ten, because what you do over there is they pass rush. And they got those big hog mollies, as Lee Corsley used to call them. Emeka Abuga, the wide receiver that never was because he had to play with Jeremiah Smith and Marvin Harrison. But in the strength of him on his own, he's not flashy, but he gets the job done. Definitely a solid wide receiver. If you're looking at Texas.
How big is the wide receiver?
He's like 6'2".
Okay.
Yeah, he's not too bad. Isaiah Bond, you wouldn't like his size. He's like 5'10", 5'11", something like that. But straight speed. He's a transferring, I believe, from Clemson. I don't have it written down. But
straight line or shifty?
No, he's a real deal. He's shifty. He's everything you want in a wide receiver. He goes up and gets it. He's strong enough, compact built, almost like a Tyreek Hill kind of build.
But just a little bit taller. I like
that.
Yeah.
Matthew Golden, he's that long, lanky guy that goes up and makes you look stupid. He's like not Amari Cooper. What's the guy's name? Keon Coleman, but with speed. He's got great body control, good hands. He's going to look good against Ohio State's cornerback.
Can he block, though?
I don't know. Now, this guy I really, really love, Andrew Makuba, the safety from Texas. He played cornerback and he plays safety now. He is a hitter. He's a playmaker. He's a guy that we want to eradicate DeMar Hamlin. He's a guy that I would love to have starting day one because interceptions, hard hits, run stuffing, pass defense. He's got it all. Dang. I love this guy. Ja'Day Barron, he's a small guy. He's 5'11", doesn't know he's 5'11". They used to put him against a tall guy, and he makes plays. Has 5 interceptions on the season. Has a heart of a lion. So those are probably, 8 people I gave you in a nutshell?
Yeah, you did.
To take a look at tonight's game. But last but not least, we're going to shower these guys with that. Reese!
Mark beat you to it.
Oh, boy.
He said, you know what else boils down? Reese sweet tea. And smash that like button. It takes 1 second.
Like you want to smack your mama? Yeah, boy. 1 part refreshing, 1 part delicious, 2 parts healthy. That's what you can expect when there are only 4 ingredients. I don't even drink tea, but I can tell you that's a good drink there. What are you doing? Head over to Reese. Get yourself a supply of the individuals or a case. Why should you do that? Get the case. Trust me, you won't be disappointed. But what do I know? See for yourself. Reese Tea. Click the link in the description below. Use the code words, Post-Podium Podcast. Let them know who sent you.
OLI says, do we trade the 32nd pick?
I saw them do that. I saw them trade back for Nick Scorton.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, you get this off my screen right
away. Steve says, this is supposed to be the deepest running back class in years. Do we take one or pay Cook?
Yes, we take one and pay Cook.
So too.
Both.
I
mean,
I do both.
We can get a running back, what? 3rd, 4th round.
Later than that.
Later than that.
Wow. Yeah.
Wow.
This is deep. Yeah.
I would take that. I mean, I still need that money for a defensive end or whatever I'm gonna do on a defensive line. So, but all right, here we go. All right, if you're hearing that music, that means it's time for us to get out of here. Real quick announcements, okay? Before we go, listen. Monday is a big day. We are launching Super Chats, and the store will be up and running on the YouTube page, so make sure you keep an eye out for that. We starting off with t-shirts, hoodies. We might be able to get some quarter zips and stuff like that going. But that will be up and running Monday. Please keep an eye out for that. Membership, the membership program is not going to be ready yet, so just keep an eye out for that coming. If you have not checked it out already, Coach D's Corner is back and just lighting it up like we were before. Make sure you go check that one out. It's got all the film review goodies that you want for this upcoming game against the Broncos. Other than that, we got anything else, fellas? Okay, make sure you hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that bell, make that thing so that you can get all the notifications like everything I just gave you, okay? Listen, we want to thank everybody for tuning in. This has been the Post-Podium Podcast, home of the all truth, no sodium takes. I have been your co-host, Aramis.
Melly Mack.
And 40 Keys.
And I'm about to sneeze, but we getting out of here. Deuces. Go Bills.